looks fine.
All right. Hey, everyone. Time for
That's how we start.
time for the next game. As you can see, we've got quite the crew this time. We're playing a one-sheet called The Witch is Dead, hosted by our very own Josh Coulter, with some very special guests, James Urbaniak and Riley Silverman. Super cool. Thank you, guys. So I'll hand it off to Josh to tell us about the game, get everyone introducing themselves and their characters, and go from there.
Okay. So I guess we'll start out with, hello again, I'm Josh Coulter. We're playing a game, a one-page RPG called The Witch is Dead from Grant Howitt. We will be including a link to his Patreon. I donated to one of his pages, believing in these kind of games and arts. Like, it's really amazing. The amount of joy this game has brought to my personal life is amazing, and now bringing it forward to everyone here is also just wonderful. So please support him and his efforts to bring amazing 1RPGs to the world. For our donations, there is a raffle, and my addition to this raffle is potentially a leather cat collar, not like a construction worker calling out at women, but like the collar that goes around your cat's neck. And so it's brought to you by Lancaster Leather. One of my personal campaign's players has a leather workshop on Etsy, so there will also be a link to her page, but she has cat collars, dog collars, bandana slides for those adventurous enough with bandanas. So basically pet and people collars. The winner of that raffle item will discuss with me what they want, and we'll get that donated to them. So that being said, I'm a big RPG nerd. I've been playing and hosting games for a few years. I'm also part of OD&D's own On Our Fistful of Dice podcast. So we'll just go down the line as I have it written on my notepad. Dan, if you'd like to do your own introduction.
All right. This is the first game I'm playing on the Meowrathon, instead of just being behind the scenes, so I'm super excited. I've also been, thank you, Josh, I've been really excited by the variety of games we've had this year. It's super cool. But yeah, I'm Dan. I'm the host of Dice and Dens. I play Bartholomew on Fistful of Dice. And, running this stream. I am playing Simon, who is a rat, and he has the ability to conjure dinner.
Ari?
Oh. I'm Ari. I'm Dan's wife and co-host, I guess. And I'm also on OD&D, and I play Gronk. Well, we're also playing a different one, but I play characters on Fistful of Dice. So, excuse me. I'm Matilda. I'm the Basset Hound. And I treat everybody on my team like my babies. And I have the power to have books read aloud.
Pretty cute.
Riley?
Hello, I'm Riley Silverman. I am a writer for Nerdist. I've written for sci-fi and some book projects coming up. And I also play a lot of TTRPGs and have done some acting work as well. And today I am playing Hathaway. And she is a cat. And she can open and lock and close. She can open, unlock, close, and lock doors. Which is a very good skill for a cat to have, because humans often like to close doors on me, and I don't stand for it.
No bathroom is safe.
James?
James Urbaniak. I'm an actor at Dr. Venture on the Venture Brothers, and very limited RPG experience. A couple of years ago, my wife fell in with a group of people who played D&D, and I played a couple times. But it felt good. It felt good. And I am a hare, a rabbit, whose spell is can speak human, which I'm very excited about.
And your rabbit's name is Quimby, correct?
Pardon?
Sorry to interrupt you. I said your rabbit's name is Quimby.
My
correct?
rabbit's name is Quimby.
Okay.
One name.
Tennille?
Hi, I'm Tennille. I have no idea what I'm supposed to say right now. I'm excited to be here. I love cats. I have two, and I'm playing a cat, Kit the cat, and my skill is unseen hand, whatever that means.
It's because this is a one-page RPG, it's left off to a lot of interpretation, so we'll let you try to come up with how you use that.
Great.
Yeah.
I love myself.
And Jason.
Close the door.
Hi, I'm Jason Klum, and I know what Tennille's supposed to say. Tennille's an actress. She's in a show called The Drinking Game with me every month, and she's very talented and very funny. I run the Stolen Dress Podcast Network. I play What's His Name, the cowboy with no name on Up Dice and Dens. I'm down here somewhere. There I am, drinking a beer. And I host the Comedy on Vinyl podcast and Dan J's Comedy Hour podcast with Dan. I host Dispatches from Fort Awesome, a news radio podcast, which Riley has been on. Some other crap, and I'm a very ill-experienced D&D player, but I enjoy it. But we picked a character who's a fox, and I named him Chanch Plorschnuff McElroy. I just figured the McElroy would help with SEO. So, and his skill is distract and confusion. Actually, I did not choose a gender, so I don't know if he has a gender, but I'm calling him a he because of Chanch. Sounds like a boy's name.
Okay. The reason, honestly, that I have just a little block of stats. The reason you were last was because your name took up so much room on my stat list that I had to give you the biggest block at the end.
I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
I interrupt, Jason. What's your fox's name again?
It is Chanch Plorschnuff McElroy.
Did you say Chance with a
Sean
Connery accent?
Chantch. Chanch.
It sounds like Sean Connery saying the word chance.
It really does.
And what's your hey, I want to be good, so I'm making notes.
Oh, already a winner here.
And
sure.
What's your talent?
I distract/confusion.
Okay,
Again,
you're already way ahead.
Does he do it by telling people his name?
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah,
That's a skill.
It already happened. So well done, Chance.
Chanch.
Chanch McElroy.
I think you found your voice.
So what I'll do here is read the introduction to our game. We'll talk about kind of how you ended up with your roles and the roles, the only 2 roles or 3 roles that I get to do in the game. And then talk about a couple rules real quick and jump in. So, once upon a time, there was a kind and wise and beautiful witch who lived in the forest with her familiars, all you. And her life was peaceful and happy until a sassy witch hunter broke into her cottage and dragged her out and sassily murdered her. And now she's dead. For the sake of our live feed and censoring, I changed some words in here. You might get the hint there. Mm-hmm. But if you get revenge and kill him and bring his eyes to her corpse within a week, she'll come back to life, or so you've heard. Even if it doesn't work, at least he's dead. So the way this one-page RPG plays out, everybody uses a D10. It's very simple. It's basically you roll a D10 and add one of the 4 stats that you've received with your critter. Everybody, we pre-rolled this so that we could potentially hop right into the game. Everybody rolled a D10 for their familiar and their spell. I also got to roll. And so a couple little things about the game. The village is built around a wizard college. And the witch hunter is drunk and violent. These are 2 separate categories I get to roll for to add characteristics, and there's a twist that I also rolled for that the players will hopefully uncover. A few rules. So again, using a D10 for pretty much whatever actions you want to take. The spells are typically what the witch taught her familiars to help around the house. I don't know how that plays into distract and confuse. Maybe for guests she did not want to deal with.
Bodyguard.
So these are not the most glorious spells, although it's still pretty impressive for animals to know spells. Our donators can either help or hurt your spell casting, so it might make it absolutely amazing or absolutely terrible. There's no rule for this, but just so we know what number we're shooting for, I'm going to say if you cast a spell, you succeed on a 4 or higher. So anything below that, I'm gracious. I didn't make it 50-50. I'm giving you guys 4 or higher. And casting spells is always dangerous, but if you fail a roll during a dangerous situation, that accumulates. And basically, so say you have 3 danger points and you roll a 3, something very serious happens. Death, serious injury, captured, something along those lines. As critters, you can always lower your danger by running away from a situation.
Scatter.
And the last 2 things before we jump in, typically tasks need to be broken down. What's easy for humans, such as taking a book off the shelf, will need to be broken down into multiple steps for a bunch of critters without the height advantage and opposable thumbs. And then, let's see here. Pretty much everything you know about humans has been taught to you by the witch. So as we progress, maybe, oh, you remember the witch told you this thing about, you know, the way humans work in the village. An example, I played a game to stretch my game master Meowster muscles last night, and they ran into huge curtains that they only recognized as large clothes. And the characters were scared there was a giant behind those large clothes because they didn't know what curtains were. So, yes,
You
the
just walk
witch.
around, let anybody see.
The witch is dead. You have 1 week to get the witch hunter's eyes. Town is about half a day's walk for a bunch of critters. And I will let you all begin by saying where you were when this awful event happened, and we'll go from there. Were you in the cottage hiding? Because this is pretty scary. This is a new event. None of you have ever seen anybody quite handle the witch this way.
I was in the shed knocking things over just to make a bunch of noise. Cacophony
Sounds right.
was my only goal.
I was on the porch and he kicked me off. I would have come and fought him, but I'm old and it takes a while for me to get back up those stairs.
And I was skittering around the kitchen, just, you know, getting ready to make dinner. I conjured dinner, but, you know, my basic understanding is kitchen is where food is made, so that's what I was doing.
It wasn't my meal time, so I wasn't around. I was just kind of doing my own thing. I was jumping on some trees and stuff. Getting kind of high up. I like it up there.
I was sort of burrowed in my little hole under the steps outside, where it's my safe place.
I was napping outside, clearly. I'm a heavy sleeper. What can I say?
Wow. So if the witch were here, she would be hearing a lot of excuses.
We've got 2 donations of $20 so far.
Going up or down for everyone.
One says it's a boon.
Okay.
Bill, what did you want if you're in the chat? Let's know.
So this isn't like last year, Dan, where I tell people pay us money so I put something in my nose.
You
Like,
can
that's
absolutely
not-
do that too.
I don't know that I have anything here that I can put up my nose confidently.
Foxes can't.
Usually you spend money for things to put in your nose. It doesn't usually
Yeah,
go the
you
other
would
way
think,
around.
right? Yeah, this is.
I didn't realize that you did geek work. As a
Yeah, apparently. I ate a light bulb, whole chicken.
That's classic geek work. Yes,
Yeah.
I-
Thank you.
Live chicken.
From Matilda's knowledge of books, she seems, kind of bedtime story, has read the few modest books the witch has read aloud to everyone. And you do know that the witch
Except
hunt.
the explicit ones. She
Yeah.
said we can't listen to them.
I was trying to think of a fun witch romance novel there.
I've got a few, but they can't be set on a PG-13.
Broke Witch Mountain.
Cold as. Now listen, continue.
You all know that in the instance of the witch's death, the one who killed her, you might be able to save her by bringing back that individual's eyes.
This is something that we just know.
Yes.
That's weird.
We just have to do it.
She was a cautious
animals have strong intuition, so it makes sense. It's just some thing we share. No one knows why.
So she was killed while I was making this wonderful smorgasbord order sport.
What is
And
happening?
I believe if we get some eyeballs, we might be able to bring her back.
Dan, sidebar, are you doing Paul Lind and Charlotte's Web as your
Ish.
last voice?
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah.
Reference received. And what's the rat's name again, by the way? I missed that.
Simon.
Oh, what? Perfect.
So, question: if we don't bring her back, what is that? How does that affect us in some way?
Well, feed
Good point.
us.
Yeah, no food. What are you talking about? No food?
Okay,
I don't
you
get
make a
to
good point.
confuse people on
So
anyone's
much.
behalf.
I mean, Simon never shares except with the witch. Does the witch have a name? Do we just call her
just-
the witch?
Just call her the witch.
That's, well,
She has a title.
I could eat Simon, but then we're just out of food again, so that doesn't really solve the problem.
Or remember that time the wolf ate him and he just filled his stomach up?
Remember, eat a rat, feed yourself for a day. Keep the rat alive, feed yourself for a lifetime.
I feel like yes.
I'm coming back to not knowing why we need the witch then.
I was going to say, maybe Kit and Hathaway don't care, but the witch provided a lot of love for all her familiars. So
Maybe I'm the only one, but she used to bring me a little bowl of rabbit food.
what is it? Crudite? Crudite?
Crudite?
Sure.
I don't know that word, but
He's a rabbit, so.
Just cut up carrots.
I just feel like I need to point out that the two cats in the room, when we get there, you are not allowed to eat the eyes first. Those need to be saved. So
Well, somebody's got to pop them out, and I think that we could probably be of some assistance.
fair. Just don't eat them. I'll be very peeved.
I like to
Okay.
play with my food before I eat it anyway.
I will promise to help you with this if you all agree once and for all that I am your queen.
Will
I
this
mean-
keep me alive?
Yes.
You are my queen.
Thank you.
I think we all knew the rat was weak.
I'm in.
I could eat most of you, but I don't want to. I'd rather walk around confusing people. It's much more fun to convince people they have ADHD. So you're my queen. That's fine. That's fine.
Going to town sounds dangerous. And, can I? Do I have to like flip through a book to find where it, or can I just like look at a book and cast a spell to read part of it?
You have to cast a spell to get the book to read, but you, being a bloodhound, could easily trace your way to town. I imagine the witch's cottage being kind of out in the woods, up on a hill. You could actually see town from where you're located.
I just wanted to remind them how dangerous it was and have
Yeah.
her journal read aloud.
So I'll let you choose whether or not to use this boon that was donated to us for this spell.
To use it. if it screws up, it'll be great.
Okay.
On the other hand, if you use it, then they have to donate more to give us more boons as we move forward.
I just want to say I'm a very domesticated hare. I haven't really had a lot of experience foraging for my own food. So if this means we can bring her back and she can continue to feed me and I can live under the hutch, under the steps, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm Radith Novicus. So I'm smaller and I'm bred as a pet and I have a higher chance of cancer.
I was going to say. I was going to ask if you have any tumors yet. Okay, good to know.
I think we should go. I just want you all to be cautious.
And the other donation is a hinder.
Oh, shit.
Yes. What was the amount for the hinder?
20. We have a 20 plus and a 20 minus. Thank you, Bilbo Smaggins and Samwise.
Automatically. Sorry, change.
So as you all decide to go to town, you're able to reach it by noon of the first day. I mean,
I'm riding on the dog's back.
Okay. I don't mean to railroad you if you want to keep debating on how to proceed on this, but as you reach the outskirts of town, it being midday, you see the hustle and bustle of people wandering around, men in uppity blue robes. I mean, you all know that of wizards being the male witches in this world, thinking they are more educated, and because it's kind of like Ivy League versus an education in real world experience. So you have these uppity book learned wizards that look down on the witch, who helped many of the wives secretly in town. They would go to her cottage for remedies and things, and didn't charge. They would donate resources, plants, or whatever they could, help around the cottage, maybe a bundle of wood. But you see many learning wizards wandering around the town. It's essentially a college village. Yes.
Do any of these wizards have like loose threads hanging from their dangling robes?
Yeah. One specifically, one disheveled looking student who's like carrying way too many books for his arm load and has kind of a run down robe, is definitely tailing some like loose threads. One specifically longer hanging.
Okay. I haven't run after it yet, but I'm definitely
Got like those big pupils and
and Hathaway, by the way, is an all black cat, which means that she's good. She's lucky, and she's also resistant to a lot of diseases, which is good. So and very worthy of love. All of yours.
Matilda, I will say that when the witch hunter came and kicked you off the porch, his manner and smell was very similar to when the witch in certain nights dipped into her special stock and got a little tipsy and sloppy. So you are able to suss out that the witch hunter seems like his blood content with alcohol is very high.
I think I smell him. I think he's that way. And I point. The pub's down that way.
Sure. The roads are a little rocky. Can I, as a fox, get off my unicycle now? I've been riding on one the whole time. I hope that's all right.
Yeah.
I've already scurried ahead to in the direction. I am pretty fast as a rabbit, or a hare, if you will. So I've scurried ahead, and I've now stopped at a bush, and I'm waiting for the next move.
Wow.
Being the cute little fluffy thing that I am, I'm on my back being pet by multiple stopper. You might have to continually remind me to come along because I just love the attention.
I'm in the same spot and I'm still watching that string.
By the way, I'm now looking at an acorn, wondering if I can eat it.
It's like herding the cats.
Come on, everybody. You've got to get to this pub.
Why didn't
Although
I pick a good voice like this? Jesus.
I don't know if a rat in a food establishment's a good idea. I'm gonna have to. I try to like hide as best I can under the Basset Hound's like ear, like
Slap.
yeah. I kind of try to like tuck under, cling on, kind of.
I make my way over to the rest of the group. Well, maybe they'll make you a chef. I've heard it happens in stories.
It would never happen. Where would they even do that?
I'm going to roll away, saunter on over, and say, I got this. Everybody loves me, and enter the door after I pat it open a little bit. Like, hello, I'm here.
Riley's like, that's my job.
Yeah, I guess the question is the door ajar or not?
Oh yes, is it ajar?
What door are you just going up to the
It's at
first
the
building
tavern.
you see? There's
No, I thought we were not at the tavern. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
Okay,
I just made
okay.
our way over there.
made your way to a tavern. Okay.
Okay, I just noticed you all made your way to the tavern, and I'm trying to catch up now. This acorn.
Did you eat the acorn?
No, I did.
Darn.
It was
Oh,
reasonable.
son of a bitch.
This
They're not very good. I've tried them.
This tavern has unusually Western, just like the pushing, swinging doors. So you
So they're very
have,
high. So did we just
Yeah.
walk under them?
you have no difficulty
Yeah.
getting through these
Just
doors.
go under.
This specific tavern to a normal human would be unusually clean. Compared to the witch's cottage, you're kind of like, but where's the clutter? Where are the herbs?
Are there no peanuts on the floor for James?
No, it's incredibly clean.
A clean tavern.
To the point where you see many you would gauge them as younger folks in blue robes, studiously going through their books. They have modest, not even full pints. They're like 10 ounce little cups of glasses, and it just seems very it's like a study cafe, if you will. But with
Are
alcohol.
all these hogs drinking mead?
Jesus Christ.
So how about everybody give me a sly roll as a whole party of animals just saunter into
I think that
tavern.
Hathaway waited outside to see what happened to everybody else first.
Smart.
Fair enough.
Smart.
All right.
My friend with the string is gone. That's all I wanted to do.
So we're rolling the 10.
Yeah, roll the 10, and Quimby, for you it's add 2 for your sly.
All right.
5, 6, 5, 1.
Oh, no.
6. Okay. So everyone who rolled a 6 kind of like recognized that there were more people and kind of shuffled to the side. The rest of you just kind of walk in like, hey, we walked into the witch's cottage. Like, this is cool, right?
Wait, but if James, if you rolled did you roll a 0? Is that why it's 1? Because that's 0 is
wait.
actually 10
Good
on
call.
the die.
Yeah.
I rolled the numeral 1.
Oh, okay,
Oh.
and then add 1 to that, right? Or
He
2.
would add 2. So your total roll was a 3.
Okay.
Still not great, but better
first
than
fly.
just 1.
Wait, okay, sorry.
But it still doesn't hit a 4.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I didn't know what we were referring to when we
Right.
were putting this up.
So, a couple of you dart to the side, but a large figure in the corner, sitting back with a mug in a full pint in his hand, with his boots up on the table, is eyeing all the three of you very suspiciously.
This girl looks suspicious.
Don't be suspicious. Don't be suspicious.
Matilda,
with the
Christ.
voice and everything.
Yeah, good.
Matilda, would you give me a clever?
7.
Ooh, with that, you notice that the large figure taking notice to a few of your group is not the one who killed the witch, but is dressed very similarly.
But he does not smell the same.
Right.
I sit on the ground and my tail is just hitting rhythmically. And that's not him, but it looks like him.
So I hop off the pup and try to kind of skitter around, trying to hide like behind the bar, maybe just trying to see if I can recognize, because I was in the house when it happened, so maybe I can see him. All humans look the same to me for the most part, but maybe I can recognize something.
Give me a clever as well.
Oh shit. 8.
8. Much like Matilda, you can see like most of the people at the tables are far too busy in their studies to even pay attention to what's going around them. Like one person reached out for their mug and spilt it, and like mime style went for a drink, and they're just continuing in their studies. They seem very stressed. They're on, multiple night benders of wizard cramming, but you don't see you don't get a hint of any familiarity besides the clothes this gentleman's wearing. It's definitely not the same person.
I am wiggling my nose and looking up in sort of a cute manner, since I was originally adopted as a pet, with the vague hope that this individual will adopt me, and that will lead to more information. Take the rest of the gang in.
By the way, I did draw my.
Oh, look at that!
That's it.
Look at that!
Oh god!
Wow, it's invisible.
There we go. I drew my character.
Sure. Look at that thing.
Mine too. There's Quimby right there.
Oh wow!
Good to know that I have the same advanced art skill as James Urbaniak.
Yes, there you go.
I have Hathaway merch, so I'm just wearing my merch.
Oh wow!
Very good. Very good.
Good kitty cat.
I'm going to go ahead and go up to Maddie and just do this and say, "Dear Maddie, dear, is that the man we're looking for?"
Fair enough.
No. You said it's just familiar.
He's wearing the same clothes. And he smells the same. He smells like the witch's medicine.
So,
Should I see if he knows anything? I could go up to him and see how friendly he is. Maybe.
I don't know why it took me so long to realize this. Unseen Hand is perfect for a cat to knock things off even more.
Yep. Great.
Well, as you're all meowing and chittering to each other, the individual in question slowly gets up and has like a small cape on, takes it off, and kind of steps down low in a friendly manner, offering his hand out to any of the familiars willing to get close. And how about you all give me a clever?
Oh.
Ooh.
What is it wrong?
So
I'm totally lost now watching Ari and this cat. So
Yeah, this is the problem I had earlier.
That's Tara.
Oh wow. Okay, 2 9s. What else we got here?
Ooh.
A 0 on a D10's usually 10. Yeah.
Oh, thank God. I was like,
But I want to make sure you're adding your stats to your roll
0.
too. So
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
This is where
I thought I got a double 0, and I was like, I guess I'm just ready.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, so
This
I
is
guess
where
then I
my
have
remedial
damn.
playing comes in. So I'm adding what I rolled to what I rolled previously before the game.
Well, so your clever for the hair is 0. So
Yeah,
you would,
correct.
yeah, you would not add anything to that one.
So I'm 11 then. I apologize. I forgot about the
Okay.
stats sheet because again, I'm bad at this.
Get
Here,
it together.
James, I'll put your stats in the chat so you have them.
I give you 4 stats.
Doesn't matter. Have you heard me play? You haven't heard me play. That's fine.
We've
I'm
played
terrible.
together.
Oh yeah, that's right. We did do that. Well, but wasn't I terrible then? I guess is the
I
question.
mean, it was mostly getting frustrated with me. My
The other game
character,
is-
I should say.
The other game is me getting by on a Sam Elliott impression for 3 hours every week.
I'm 10. Okay, just
What was yours, James? You're muted. There we go.
What I just rolled?
Yeah.
I rolled a 7 for the most recent.
Oh my goodness. Okay. What was Matilda's roll?
In all, I got a 7.
Dang. Okay.
Jaina P just donated $35.
Oh.
Jaina, let us know in the chat. Do you want this to help or hurt?
Don't be rude. Make it help.
So, wow. With all those great rolls, you are able to tell that this individual is much like the one that murdered your dear witch and has sinister motives in trying to get you close to him. His manner seems friendly, but your
I'd bite
animal
his hand.
intuition.
It's just instinct.
Give me a fierce.
Coin flip says help, by the way, on that $35.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yay.
That was this.
I'm really trying to amp up the cuteness now so that I'll be adopted. And I've turned around, I'm wiggling my tail. Rabbits have famously cute tails. Basically wiggling my butt. But he's just kind of staring blankly at me. At least that's how I interpret it.
Yep.
So this figure standing thinks that whatever tricks he's trying to pull is working on Simon. How do you approach and what do you do? Because it succeeds.
I told you, I just bite his hand.
Okay. There's no like just saunter up like, hey guy. Hey, sailor.
Instinct is taking over. I'm
Okay.
mad.
Yeah.
And I want to bite his hand like it's a wonderful smorgasbord. And then I run away.
Okay. Yeah.
And hide behind me.
Then can I roll stealth? No. a
So
rogue.
yeah, you by his hand, he pulls back quickly, and it's like, I knew you were one of the witches, all of you. And he stands up and starts stomping your way. So I don't know how would a group full of critters, Hathaway, you hear this yelling from outside, and like it's kind of like an intimidation stomp.
Okay.
If any of you have seen Army of Darkness, when Bruce Campbell's doing the stomp, like London bridges fall, like to step on the little version of him. That's kind of what he's doing, threatening with his big
That
boots.
scares me, and I run out the door.
Oh no.
I'm gonna use a spell. I'm gonna cast lock on the door so that the door can't open, so that my friends can run underneath it, and he can't get out after us.
Okay.
Nice.
And since we have two, I mean, these are sizable donations, so I've kind of chalked it up to 3 boons total. So let's use a boon on this one and see where it goes.
All right, I'm gonna roll. Well, I rolled a 1.
With that boon, we will succeed in throwing a little pointless latch. Like these are open doors, so like there's just like a little hook, right, that gets like just flipped over. So Simon's left. What is everyone else's reaction?
Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh, I jump up well, I was sitting, so I stand up and like kind of back up, trying to push everybody out underneath the door, but then I'm braying the whole time.
One thing I will say, Matilda, is these boots, again, not the same person, but these boots look
I'm traumatized.
almost uniform. You recognize what those would feel like.
Mm-hmm. I bark harder.
No,
Go
you
ahead.
got
No,
this.
you go.
All right.
Yep.
All right. Well, as everyone seems to sort of be scattering, I'm going to throw all of my hope and prayers on being cute still. And I'm just going to literally flop over onto my back and look up at him with my batting eyes and hope that stalls him just long enough so I can throw my spell of Unseen Hand.
He is not stopping the stomping, but I will let you throw your Unseen Hand in whatever manner you're hoping to.
Good. I'm hoping just to swipe some sort of thing off of him, like an identification or where weird guys hang out. All right.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, I've already dropped my dice. Okay. 8! Oh, 8 plus. I don't know what.
Okay. With that, I mean, that's a great roll. Unseen Hand style, I would say you are able to get a form of identification off of him. How would your Unseen Hand pickpocket this guy? Like, you're trying to distract him with your cuteness?
Yes. And then it's just as flick of the tail, and as you're like looking at my eyes, I just quick get that little, like, you know how they do a rabbit foot? And just quick grab something and keep grab it. Yeah.
Kind of like a cartoony, like, whoop, but unseen.
Yeah, but it's like you think I'm like, oh, it's cute, almost like a bunny foot from like Thumper, but like with a cat version, and then just sneak it away, and then tail curl.
So give me a quick, because he is stomping his boots at you regardless of the cuteness.
5 plus 2. Ah!
Okay, you're able to be like, oh nope, those boots are still coming, and scatter with a primitive ID card in hand.
Whack someone's beer or tea or juice. I don't know what's appropriate. Off the board, just get out of there. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll say the Unseen Hand holding the ID on the way out kind of wildly flaps around and just starts disheveling people's tables.
I'll take it.
Causing an uproar amongst the students, because
I'm just imagining like beer cups being knocked off tables, like
not just knocked off tables, but onto books, which causes much fussing and concern. Again, not necessarily with you all, but now their books that they were burning the CPU up at are now getting ruined, and
Whatever.
there's rushing around.
That's what they get for reading instead of giving us scritches.
Well, I'm out.
I was going to cast Confusion, but it seems like you've kind of done that. I was going to grab ID, but you've also done that. How far out is everybody out the door, though, Josh? That's the question. Do I need to stall? Because I can stall a little bit longer. Because I can bite my way out of there better than the rest of them.
No, I mean, at this point, this person's kind of bumping into people now who are running to get like any sort of liquid absorbent to save their holy items on the tables. So I mean, he's pushing them aside and starting to run towards the door.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Confusion anyway. Just give some more room to my friends.
Why not?
To get out of
Do you want to use one of the boons for this?
No. Let's just
Okay.
see what happens. Oh god. Oh, that's a 10. There we go. So I'd like to say that I get up on a table, grab a couple beers, and look like I'm about to start a musical number, and I dance around a bit, just enough so that he doesn't know what the hell is going on. Does this work? I mean, I rolled a 10. One hopes.
The whole tavern at this point stops everything they're doing. Their concerns are washed away by this magical number of Fox just did, Jaws
Is it
are
just the Fox from
dropped.
Pinocchio? Like, hi, diddly dee.
Pretty much. Yep.
Obviously, some of these students are better than others. One casts light up from the ceiling. Others bring roses out of nowhere, and they're seemingly watching a play all of a sudden, enamored and confused with this performance. You are being
Someone pulls Quimby out of a hat.
Yeah, I'm suddenly out of a hat. And I'm glaring at Chanched because there's a difference between confusing and astonishing. I think you've gone to the astonished side too much. But these are only vague. I'm just kind of wiggling my nose because I don't really think in language terms.
I do like the idea that a bunch of students at a wizarding school are like, why is this animal doing this?
Like, they're so taken in with the performance. All their worries of study and ruined books have just dissipated, and they are now sitting there as if they were watching this show, like they had lined up for this for weeks, and now it's happened.
Like, I can make a demon appear, but this is ridiculous.
You hear some of them chanting,
and do a drop in.
"What does the fox say?"
I then grab the hat with Quimby in it, and I get the hell out of there.
Oh, nice.
The large figure, still through the haze, comes running, and Three Stooges style slams into the two doors and gets clotheslined, ends up on the floor, and you're able to skitter away relatively, surprisingly easy.
You're welcome. I saved you all.
So true, my queen. So true.
Yeah,
And now
thank
we
you,
have
my queen.
This hat, which is like a traditional top hat, that one of the students was wearing. Just because there's a vaguely 19th century feel to the way they dress.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
And they're not an official. He was a student, so he didn't get the official code.
Yeah, not yet.
He had one of the less pointy.
Eventually.
Yeah.
It was pointed straight up because it was a dunce hat.
What's up, Tennille?
I was just gonna say, can we? Never mind. I was just gonna be like, drop the ID and be like, I can't read it, but I know it's important, and then
Yes.
pot to the middle of the group and be like, do what you will.
I immediately just lay on top of the ID.
I try and reach.
Oh, did
for
you?
it
Did
underneath.
you? Oh, sorry.
Can I? I also can't read this. Quimby, I know
Yeah,
you
Quimby,
can
is this,
speak it.
can you
Could
read
the-
as well as speak human?
Could the dog make it?
Oh, right.
It's not a book.
No.
That's
The book dog.
So we folded in half.
Doesn't work. That's very funny.
So none of us can read it.
We can take
Well-
it and have Quimby talk to
I
somebody.
I can speak human
Yeah,
So
yeah.
you
as a
read it to
spell, but I
us.
can't read.
I was going to say there's two options, but you just brought up a third.
Yeah.
So any of you can try to use clever, which is understand
Oh,
humans,
sure.
or
Right.
also using clever to interact with humans to get them to read it, which is the third I didn't even think is a possibility. And then also Matilda's spell to get it to read
That
itself
will count.
aloud. Yeah.
Okay.
I love the idea of a rabbit going, "Hey, buddy, what's this say?"
I think it's a fair point to point out too that since this is supposed to be like 1700s ish,
Uh-huh.
I don't know how many people around us can read human either.
Oh, that's a very good point.
Well, again, this village
Oh, it
is
is a
built
wizard village.
It's an
Village.
academic village, you know.
That is a
They
good
might
point.
even be like, they might even be willing to hear a rabbit speaking human out. Like,
Yeah.
oh man, someone's spell went wrong. Let me help you out here, Jay.
Mhm, mhm.
Now,
I think we
in
should
all
go
the,
with that one.
the item we have came from our suspect.
Yes.
Mhm,
Stompy McStomperson.
mhm.
Well, yeah. Well, no.
So
it's not
some
the
sort
suspect,
of-
it's the guy who knows the suspect.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Oh,
And an associate of a possible associate, right? Because he
Oh,
smells
yeah,
like him,
he's-
dresses like him, same boots,
They have boobs.
I have an idea.
If he walks, I am a murderer.
I would just like to interject real fast. I told you this was my weakness of a live feed. I do have to exit screen left for just a moment. If you want to come up with a plan, I'll be right back.
Conversation, sure.
For him.
I have an idea.
Please.
Why don't we have Quimby tell one of these peasants that Quimby is one of them who was turned into a rabbit, and this man did it, and then we can have him point us to their witch house, so we can go undo this spell. They'll believe it. They're peasants.
That's true.
I keep forgetting your name. What is your name, Riley? What is your
Hathaway. Queen Lady Hathaway.
Queen Hathaway, and I like smack her on the back. I'm like, that's a good idea.
You will not touch me again without my permission. I kind of do the cat like when you.
Wait, back up.
Yeah.
I tell them I'm a human who was turned into a rabbit.
I mean, after all, look at my hat.
Yeah. Add a character. So add a character, James.
Exactly.
Is that
by whom?
We're going to say these witch hunters turned you into a rabbit, and we need to be directed back to their base so we can undo it.
All right.
Dark magics.
Yeah. I'm going to use this opportunity to fill my coffee up. Right back.
Wouldn't that make them a witch, though? If they're casting spells, then wouldn't they be hunting themselves?
Well,
stupid.
Hypocrites cover the land. So.
Yes.
I'll take it. I'll buy it.
All right.
Just like lounging in like a stream of sun, not paying attention to any of this.
I'm casually juggling just to figure out a new skill, so I'm just sitting here trying to juggle with my weird paws and seeing if it works. It's not working.
One of the balls goes flying, so I go after it.
Catch it, yep.
I'll take this moment to remind our listeners and watchers that donating will not only you could either help or hinder us, but also enters you into the raffle that we have of some really cool items. So let's get some donations. We're like 340 away from beating last year's total.
All right,
awesome.
So, super stoked.
You giving any D&D merch, D&D merch out, Dan, like this shirt that I'm wearing, or not?
Look at that shit. I was thinking of making a shirt with the Meowrathon logo.
Oh, good.
And giving
That's
that
good.
away.
Give this cat away. Give this beautiful dumb cat away.
I do have some OD&D minis still from like last year.
If you donate, we'll cast a spell and make her dance.
So, and the way I have it chalked up, you have 2 very large boons and 1 big hinder that we've yet to breeze through here.
Yes.
Okay.
We may need that depending on Quimby's delivery.
True.
Well, I'm game to try this.
Let's do it. Break. Should we tell Josh what we're doing?
Yeah.
Hey, DM, would you like to know our plan?
I mean, I've vaguely heard it.
That'll be our twist. See if he can figure out our twist.
I actually want to let James do it in character because I think it's kind of funny if Quimby doesn't fully. I want to see how Quimby understands it. So I think if I explain it too much, it might be.
Well, Quimby is aware that he has a spell power that was bestowed on him by the witch. He used it once before to thank her for some food, and then that was that. So he's not used to it, so it's going to be a little awkward. But the idea is that I will. The ruse is I'll say I'm a fellow human who was turned into a rabbit by the witch hunters themselves, and could they perhaps direct me and my friends to their? Could the denizens of the bar direct us to the witch hunters' base to help us out, to help out a fellow human being?
Okay. So
is that correct, Hathaway?
Yes, that's close. I wouldn't ask the bar though because they're pretty chaotic. Maybe just like another fellow on the street.
Yeah, it's still really loud in there.
There's much, raucous going on.
Okay,
There's still some
the bar
cheering.
because we saw someone who resembled a witch hunter in there, but it is a college town. everyone knows everybody, so fair enough.
Well, we have the ID, so we can say like, "Hey, tell us where the address is from this." That's kind of what I was thinking.
And is this like a calling card, like someone's business card?
Yeah, what does it look like? I was wondering what.
I mean, that's hard to say for a group of animals. You wouldn't really recognize what outside of,
It says MTA pass.
you know. I will give you this.
What does it look like to animals?
It looks like a small one-page book.
Yeah.
Maybe it looks similar to when wives would come and give, and this isn't what it is, but it's the closest thing maybe you can all approximate it to, when the witch would take a scrap of paper and write a list of items that a wife needed or a midwife may have been requesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So this is either a business card or a grocery list.
Yeah.
Anything in between.
Or somewhere in between. Yeah.
It's notes for the hunter's erotic novel he's writing about. A bodice ripper, if you might say.
Of course, sure. Naturally.
Let's
Well,
do this.
should we? Yeah, let's head off into town.
I guess,
Or
yeah, deeper into
that-
town. I guess we look around to find someone who looks smart enough to be able to read, but dumb enough to believe our story.
I'm going to look for that kid that I was trailing earlier who was all disheveled.
There you
because
go.
He's going to be
Yeah.
easy enough to
That's
intimidate.
perfect.
Yes, that's good.
Okay, so this being a town, kind of a college town built around this wizard school, not many folks even give a pack of animals the time of day. They're just like, someone's familiars, or you quickly realize that you can stroll through town. For the most part, there's still some weird side glances without an accompanying wizard with you, but overall you're pretty much able to just pass through town as a group of familiars. It's accepted. Give me, let's see here, Hathaway, give me a clever.
Okay. My worst suits. I rolled an 8 though.
Ooh.
Flat 8.
Yes. How would you this individual that you saw earlier is passing through the crowd? How would you find them / what are they doing at this point?
I think he's dropping his books again and like trying to like pick them up, and then I think that I'm gonna run over and now I'm gonna grab that string of his cloak. So when he starts to move, he feels it tug a little bit, and then he notices me, and then I kind of like motion to Quimby to do his thing.
Okay. I'm not even going to make that a quick roll due to the shuffle of trying to pick up books, and he feels the tug at his robes, and he's like, oh. And he turns around and goes, "Oh, hello, little one," and tries to reach down to scratch behind your ears.
Oh, I let him. Oh yeah.
And the cue to Quimby is quickly forgotten. No.
I say thank you, peasant, but he hears it as a nice.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, the back there. Thank you.
As he's scratching
All right,
your
Quimby,
ears,
hop
more
to it.
books fall out of his arms. Oh.
Now I'm ready to speak when I cast my spell.
Yes. Do you want to use? Well, let's have you roll, and then we'll
Yes.
decide whether or not you use a boon as a
All
group.
right, rolling. I just got a 7 on the roll.
Nice.
Okay. I mean, it passed. It like the spell succeeds. Do you all want to use a boon to make it bigger and better, or?
Seems
For
No.
comedic effect, I kind of want to use the hinder because I think Quimby doesn't know how to actually communicate as a person.
I'll pick the hinder, but
okay.
this one I'm waiting to strike with that. Trust me.
might as well use it up. Oh God. Okay.
Yeah, use the boon then.
Yeah, do it.
I mean, you have one left after that too, and
I think
potentially
we're
more
gonna
with
aim.
donators.
It's fair.
Let James decide. It's his spell.
Yeah.
That's true.
I'd like to take a stab at just asking the question.
Okay.
Let's do it.
It works. It comes out a little primitive, maybe, like not fully eloquent, but you are able to get the point across. What does the spell say? Or what do you say through the spell?
Yes. You. Don't run. We're safe. No harm. Spell on me. Was like you. Spell on me. Suspect. Who, what, read.
And I'm
Oh.
jumping up and down on Matilda's back.
At the words of "Don't run," the rest of the books fall from his arms and just into a pile in the street.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, yes." Well, and tentatively, like shaky hand, like reaches out to grab the paper, kind of pulls it away from you quickly, like he doesn't want to catch whatever you have.
I immediately jump on the books and lay on the books.
And he reads a note. It is a little hard. For the most part, you get the gist of what it says, and it's an assignment note / kind of like society card where it says, dropped one person. I will continue with this description. We'll fill.
You'll still hear
Matilda
her.
in.
She can still
Yeah.
hear and talk because she's using my mic.
Perfect. Okay. He reads out, Burl Beanbury, you are here assigned to the wizard village along with the other witch hunter. You will be his assistant in all matters witch huntery. Do not, and it's underlined, he says, I repeat, do not murder him. You are his assistant.
I repeat.
Nice to know things haven't changed with assistant relationships in 300 years.
And the nervous wizardry student looks front to back and kind of shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know what to tell you. That's it.
Ask him if he knows where to find them.
Yeah, ask him
there you go.
if he
Yeah.
knows the name Burl Barnbury.
Thank for that.
As you say that, he like shakily hands you the note back.
No area for BB.
Oh,
Where to
yes.
find?
Burl Beanbury. He hangs down out at one of our famous student taverns. Very reputable place. Always kept very clean. He's a good chap. I've spoke with him once or twice. Yes. Do you
Name
want me
of
to
tavern?
take?
What tavern?
Uh,
What tavern? What tavern?
it's. I mean,
Name.
I'm jumping even more now.
he's getting more and more flustered.
I'm falling off my
Animals
unicycle,
being
I'm
like,
so
yeah. It's the tavern just down the way. Basically, if I'm describing the tavern you just came from.
Oh.
I think we all turn towards where we just came from. As like a mug flies through the door.
I let out that like guttural growl that a cat can do, like that.
He's. How about everyone in the party give me a fierce?
Okay.
Oh, here.
Oh, that was such drama with that roll. An 11
Ah,
total.
6.
Dang.
6.
Okay.
Also 6.
11.
Besides Kit, everyone looks, especially for like Kit, just looks cute, right? Like Kit's attempt at
Appropriate.
looking fierce is like, yeah. Everyone else pulls off this intimidating snarl, especially for like a rabbit looking mean at you. And he gets more flustered and is like, oh, well, I don't know the chap's name. He's rather rough, but you know, Burl Beanbury's master does hang out over on a seedier side of town. Not many of us reputable folk go off that way. Maybe you could convince him to help you.
His name.
I don't know. He's a rough chap. I would never associate with the kind like that.
What part? What part of town?
Across town over on the east side.
We're all like, what?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
do
cock my
think
head.
I walk away from him and then stop and look at him and then walk and stop and look at him like I'm trying to convince him like
Hot or cold?
lead us to it.
Lead us.
Like you know when cats try to lead you to the kitchen to
Oh,
feed
right.
them?
Yeah.
I'm doing that to the person.
He awkwardly looks at all of you and points in the opposite direction you were walking and goes, that way.
I attempt to make like a Twinkie or something appear as a thank you for him.
That normally I would say if you're going to specify it as a Twinkie, that's going to have to be a fairly high spell roll.
Yeah, but maybe that won't work.
Yeah.
Especially
I
of not of the times, right?
The food from the future.
So that's a 5 on the die.
Suddenly a cattail, like not like the plant cattail, like trimmed at both ends so it looks to be almost like a baked delicacy. Summons in his mouth, and I don't know if anybody's seen how
The
those
videos
blow
where they bite into
up.
it?
Yeah.
And it just
And immediately, through surprise of a cattail being in his mouth, bites down and is left kind of choking in the street with seeds and fuzz in his mouth.
I think
let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah. Halfway books it towards the place
I
where he is.
grab Matilda's ears and go, yeah.
Quimby, do you try to retain this hat with you? Is this a continuing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That seems useful. I'm dragging it.
The hat really
It's
sold
getting
the bit.
pretty beat up because I'm dragging it along the ground as I'm hopping.
Okay. What was once semi-fancy, maybe not quite as elevated as some of the pointy wizard's hats, still being a mark of society, is now starting to look pretty rough. As it's
Feels
being
important though.
I grab the loose thread on the wizard's garment and book it on my unicycle just to see how far I can unravel it.
I'll give you your choice of fierce or quick for that one.
Oh boy. Okay. Well, we'll say fierce.
Okay.
And I lost my dice. That's not true. Where did it go? Just you son of a gun, because I can't say words. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Let's re-roll. I have three sets of dice here.
I like to imagine the hat is why he believed
5.
Quimby. Like it was
Riley
clearly,
just in the
the hat.
comments says
That's me.
that the hat sold the bit.
yeah, that was me.
Yep, that's what
That's
it
you, okay.
is. 5. So probably I just let go of the thread. What happens? You tell me, you're the DM.
Yeah, no, with the 5, I was gonna say higher, it does like a little spin move.
Oh,
and
sure.
He's left without a robe, but with the 5, it does kind of one of the cartoony. You see the thread working
what I
its
wanted.
way up, and halfway he's left with kind of like a cute little halter top of the blue robe.
That's what I wanted. Thank you.
And like is still a little busy choking on a cattail to realize his
Jesus
midriff is exposed.
This poor guy.
If someone were to do like a crime scene map, they would have little tacks of chaos that has been caused by these animals starting to create a trail through town.
You're right.
This is the only way I know how to play. I'm sorry.
So you all start heading in the general direction of
That was pointed out.
whatever the nervous student, the direction he pointed you in, not knowing northeast, so and so.
Yeah.
I know all four, but
I was going to ask. You concerned me for a second. Northeast, the others.
I was trying, yeah.
Etc.
I was trying not to pull Blue's Clues here.
Can you help me find the direction?
Yeah. So, as you continue on, you pass by various, it's a well-to-do village. There's little shops. In the direction you're going, Matilda, you are able to pick up a similar scent, more similar than the ones that led you to the first tavern.
Yeah, I smell his BO.
Is there a cheese shop?
Along the way, side by side, there is a cheese shop.
Winky dink.
And right next to that shop is also open windows, like big, large glass windows, something you have never seen before. So it looks maybe at the right angle, like a shiny open window.
Okay.
But inside this shop are all sorts of creatures in cages, looking rather miserable.
Oh, no.
And if any of you could read the sign, it would say "Familiar Store."
Not familiar to me, but cheese sure is. I want to run into that cheese store.
Yeah.
Now I'm assuming my talking ability is limited, but after that one exercise of it, I'm
Yeah, I think you just have to cast it again and hope you do well
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep. With the chance of it backfiring, especially with a lovely hinder we have donated to the
Yeah.
group. So,
well, yeah, I'm trying to look in the window.
you see some of your own kind in a back shelf in too small for even rabbit cages. They just cartoonishly look miserable, like they would be huddled together, except there's like small wire cages keeping them separate.
No.
Like their little front and the shelving and cages are so small, their cute little paws are hanging off the front of the shelves.
I'm going to use the boon. I'm going to cast Unlock Open and open all the cages. And in cat, I yell, "Adopt, don't shop."
Okay. We will. I will address that. First, we'll do Simon entering the cheese shop.
And I'm looking. Is there like one of those like just giant wheels?
That's almost what this is full of.
Yeah. Yes,
Oh,
please.
dear.
There's like racks of those giant wheels assorted by color and
I just my eyes get so big. I'm just like
Pause for a musical number.
Yeah, I'm imagining Templeton at the fair right now. That's all what's happening in my head.
closest thing to heaven Simon has ever seen.
And so I go to the biggest one I can find, and I'm like, I wonder if I can get this home. And so I try to pick it up. I try to like push it off the table.
Give me either a sly or a quick with danger involved.
So what I don't have. Do we have any current danger?
For you,
You have to look?
there. Oh well, you don't have any points for danger,
Okay.
but
So you tell me what happened. Look at this. I roll. That's 8.
hey, oh, you're trying to push that wheel of cheese, and suddenly you sense that something is not right. From above you, and you're able to dodge this, what you see as you recognize a broom that the witch cleaned with her cottage comes right down where you once were, and you hear a voice go, "Ah, dang it! One of Randy's familiars got in my shop again."
Oh, son of a bitch!
Well, I got news for you. Now all Randy Smears are going to come in here.
So we'll hop back to Hathaway's attempt to use the boon. We'll see how big of a roll this is. This
All
is
right.
going to succeed with a boon, but
All right, let me see. Okay, so I only rolled a 2.
Okay.
No.
With the boon, it manages to unlock half of the cages. All these different kind of critters get out. 2 of Quimby's fellows that maybe he doesn't know but seem very familiar, like stand-up chaps with big floppy ears hop out of their cages. A small monkey hops out of one cage. Like, all of a sudden, this shop turns into chaos. There's multiple critters. A fish kind of falls out of one of the tanks, just flopping on the floor.
Quimby,
Wait, the fish was just in a cage earlier?
and Quimby, Quimby's a very rare thing. He's a domesticated hare. Hares are more wild, but he's pretty much a pet. So he doesn't have a lot of real life experience, but he does have a hardwired reproductive urge.
Oh, Jesus.
So to stay within the parameters of this public forum, he's starting to think about that. And perhaps is making eyes with a lady rabbit, not unlike the moment in Bambi.
Yes, so much like that, but with much more eyelash fluttering. Like, it was a slow, steady. Like,
and
yes.
he's working hard
Oh,
at
like,
self-discipline, and is now torn between
nature and
continuing the species or staying on his quest, and that, of course, is
He has a new quest. and Hathaway's going, citizens of the cage house. I am now your queen. I have freed you. Now free your pathetic friends and let's get out of here. And then worship me.
So one thing that I vaguely forgot to touch on is you as familiars are able to talk pretty easily. Animals of similar variety, I guess, understand you, but maybe like the monkey, the little, we'll say the Jack Sparrow monkey from Pirates of the Caribbean style, doesn't hear a word of, he just hears meows also.
Okay.
And just instead of helping with the latches, starts pulling cages off the
geez.
shelves.
Oh, no.
Jesus Christmas. Okay.
The shop owner is scurrying about. He gets the fish back up in the tank that has
Good.
a cage. Like, it's open
There's a
top, right?
cage around
But
the tank.
it's to simulate like that the fish are in prison because he's not a good.
It's a bad person.
Yeah.
I have put on
Like a small bowl, perhaps?
You're right. I've put on a human's mustache, a fake mustache, just in case I have an opportunity, because it sounds like only half of them got opened up. But I can't speak people, so that's going to be a problem. But I am going to try and, again, distract/confuse, so that I, with my little, do I have foxes don't have opposable, but I could do this. I could do a lot of this situation if I have to unlock.
They're very dexterous still.
They're dexterous, yeah.
Okay.
And they have creepy laughs, so it might distract them.
Dexterous.
For Quimby, one of the freed rabbits does a little ooh, hee, 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 as much as a rabbit could sign.
I've seen Sword in the Stone.
Hathaway, for you, 2 cats are released, and they, in a similar manner, like, well, why don't you call me queen? So there's like this weird triangle of like, well, why you shall call me queen?
It's like all the Lokis, basically. Yeah.
President Hathaway.
I freed you. I'm the queen. I liberated you from your suffering.
Right, but now that I am free, I am queen.
So in the cheese shop,
I cast lock and lock the cat back up. No, I'm kidding.
I on my way out of the cheese shop, I do grab a smaller piece of cheese to take with me.
Okay, you're able to get that cheese, but you're swept out pretty fast. And you hear a din of all sorts of critters. Quimby, I'll let this be up to you. Maybe noticeably, Simon, you see all your friends except for one. It could be a moment aside, or if he can resist nature's call, he is kind of gathered with everyone else.
I think Quimby is going to stay with the group, but
okay.
There's a connection that's happened, and I've invited this rabbit to join us.
Come over to my hat. We'll look at some etchings.
Right. She
They
kind of
would
gets
go
the
all over
look of
ignore my
like,
hunch.
oh, you want me to hang out with you and your friends? Like, and kind of flub
Quimby's
each
trying
other.
to multitask here.
I know it was the group hang. I thought it was a one-on-one session.
And then Quimby remembers when the witch told him the story of Icarus. His fault was not that he had an ambitious goal. His fault was he took his eyes off his ambitious goal. He was distracted, and that's why he burned his wings then. So he remembers mythology and a very romantic sort of second act moment. Says goodbye to the lady rabbit.
He tips his hat. Or all you do is like push it over.
What
Yeah.
is more fuel to now get the eyes of the witch hunter, because if that's settled, he can then go back and find his.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just sitting outside eating my cheese,
Love it.
being entertained by the chaos.
Craziness.
Meanwhile, the Hathaway and the other two cats have now started dividing up areas of town as to who rules what domain. And she's like, "Well, you can be my Viscounts, and I will be the queen, and you'll be the vizier. We'll talk about it later." And then she runs out the door after the other.
Was there anyone running this shop?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the shopkeeper's like putting creatures
Okay.
back in
Oh, right,
cages
right. I missed that.
as best he can with half his stock. Before, so if are you trying to run out now? Like just
Yeah.
free half of them and leave?
I would like to try and distract them, although I do feel we have a bigger goal in mind.
I
James
will
is reminding
say-
me.
I will say this: a couple bird cages open, and they fly to that large open rectangle, but go prunk, prunk.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh no!
This is a cat charity, not a bird charity. Come on.
It's
Terrible.
Can I eat one of the birds?
I mean,
yes.
No.
Give me a quick on that
Okay.
one.
Not fierce.
That's a 9. 7 plus 2.
You find the most. Well, tell me what you find. How's that?
I think it's probably a. What is Tweety?
Parakeet?
Canary. It's a little canary, and I just.
Oh, canary.
and of course,
I mean, it's a black cat eating
Yeah.
canary. How do I
Just like
resist?
Sylvester.
So yeah. So I just. Yeah. I got it.
Not a bunch of feathers, but one sad, lonely
sure.
feather
Yeah.
floats to the ground in a salute to its fallen beholder.
And-
As you rush off, Quimby, that little fluttery-eyed rabbit does come up and give some like little whisker brushes, as in "come back to me."
Samwise has donated another 20 to split between a boon and a curse.
Oh.
Yes, so we're 2 and 2 now.
sneaky. All
I'm
right.
kind of saving the curses for
For
finale.
the time
maybe,
that we're going
you
to
know.
curse you. Got it.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So this cacophony of critter noises, some are running out of the shop. We'll say, since I didn't make you like try to open a door, like it was already open, kind of a welcoming shop gesture, on a lovely early summer day where the rays could shine in and warm those who anyway. So now there's like birds hitting glass. There's a monkey throwing cages. There's the shopkeeper trying to grab. And again, another pin is added to this trail of chaos. Critters are running free also. So you feel as though your efforts at least helped some that were quick and clever enough to take your hints.
I've stolen a smaller wheel of cheese, and that is my new unicycle.
I am picking my teeth with the leg of a canary.
Jeez.
Whilst all of this madness was happening, I had actually just wandered off to a house that I frequent that leaves out a dish of cream for me, and I really had no idea that any of this was happening. However, there was another cat in the alley that I am friendly-ish with, and I happened to ask him if he knew of any seedy parts of town. And I can roll for whatever you want that answer to be. If that's
It doesn't even need to be a role for talking with another cat, but when you see him, you see something's different. Part of his tail and part of his ear are now missing from what you remember of him. He like gets this like distant look in his eyes. He's like, I can tell you about darker parts of town.
And I'm just going to paw up to him and be like, go on.
And he's like, you know, once you knew me, I would have liked getting that close. And he pushes you at paw's length. He's like, but now I need that space. But he tells you about a rougher side of town where the streets aren't cobbled. It's kind of a mucky. The streets are muggy with little sideboards to help people walk across. The populace in this side of town are less accepting of kind of animals in general, seeing them as a burden to their already struggling financial ways. And he's like, you ever he's like, I've heard of foolish visitors eating the plants we call cattails dumbly and choking on them. And he like lifts up the end of his tail. Someone literally ate the end of this.
Oh, can you? Oh, dear Jax. I'm so sorry to hear that. Can you point me in the direction of these madmen? Maybe I can seek a little vengeance on your behalf.
He points in the direction of as much, you know, he does a little paw point, like a little down the main street you've been traveling along that's had shops. Further down, if you had the vision of an eagle, excuse me, you could see that the quality of town, the further out it gets, kind of the buildings are a little more run down, the cobbles start to be less in place. But as he points that way, you hear like a little sobbing. Like you can tell, so there was some emotional baggage down that way.
Oh, well, I'm going to just paw up under him and end with a little tail flick and be like, I shall see you again. Vengeance will be mine. And then I'm going to scatter off. Literally walk up to the madness that is the rest of the group like, oh, what did I miss?
You see a strange cat you haven't walked out or that you haven't met yet and goes, yes, hail me. I am queen of this third of the town.
I'm going to say, yep, that sounds familiar. Yep, I think I'm into it.
Now be gone, peasant.
And I'm still just sitting there eating my cheese. Kit is like next to me. I elbow her. I'm like, get a load of this.
There are birds in there if you're hungry.
By the way, I've given my top hat to the lady rabbit.
Ooh.
Oh.
And,
she does not enter the store again and is not caught, but you see a fluffy tail and top hat bouncing away down the opposite way of the street that you would want, that your goal lies.
All right, now that we've achieved this, shall we continue on to the witch hunter?
Let's shall.
And then I say something. I use some profanity. Let's get the son of a sass. Because this experience that Quimby just had has now given him a little harder edge. He's a little experienced. He's more of a hero of the world. Yeah, he's loved and lost. He's gone through an adult experience. And
he's
got a slightly different attitude.
He's a hair grown now, if you will.
Yeah, he's a hair grown. So he's got, he's ready to go.
I give him a sly look and say, you look like more than your foot got lucky.
I'll tell you about it later, man.
If he reads Watership now, he like really gets it.
Quimby's looking the floor to see if there are any cigarettes he can put in. He's seen that attitude in humans. And it always helps to have something in your mouth.
It's not a cat.
There are no cigarettes, but in the haste, the shop owner's pipe, his little wooden, we'll say a corncob pipe, because he little corncob pipe falls out of his apron as he's
Yeah.
hustling to get animals put away, and you're able to,
Picks that up.
yeah.
Nice.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So next we'll travel down the street with
I hop back on Matilda's back.
Jason stepped out for a moment. We have dogs being quieted. I'm also going to, once again, I apologize, step off screen. I wait as long as I can.
What are you doing?
What?
What are you doing? Where are you going?
Just writing more of the story for our fantastic listeners and watchers.
Yeah,
I like that
why
you're
don't we
literally
take a $5 and everyone replenish whatever they need to replenish or deplenish whatever they need to deplenish. I'll put up the cat cam.
I'll be back very quickly to also just chat, or if we have anybody are they allowed to? I haven't been watching our own feed. They've been able to comment. We can chat for a second before coming back to the game.
I like that, Tennille, you're basically being a cat. Like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Why are you going? Pawing under the door.
All right. Intermission.
I believe it was Jax who pointed you in the direction of the maybe rougher side of town as you progress. Almost, and I always say it just brings some of the best imagery for me. I don't know, maybe it's too vague, but in a cartoony grade, you can easily see the buildings getting like more disheveled and less repair is maybe able to be put into them. These close, nice houses start to have further gaps in between them with shadowy alleyways. You notice, maybe you don't recognize it as the critters you are, but you notice a mugging in one alleyway as you pass by. This is definitely, it's almost like a willingful rougher side of town. Like maybe it's just this group of town. It's not that they're less well off. It's more like they deny magic and they willingly like lower the property values in this side of town. It's
Freaking
like
town and gown culture, man.
the guy that just got mugged is going to go mug someone else to recoup his losses. It's kind of the way, the flow of income in this town rather than buying and purchasing. It might be mugging and coercing.
And anti-maxers.
You can tell none of these folks have had their spells cast on them to prevent certain plagues. And
I'm just, I don't know, nibbling on my unicycle as I move forward.
And I kind of crouch down a little on Matilda's back, like I'm not comfortable, because since I'm a domesticated rat, this kind of environment is not comfortable to me.
You're not a cockroach or cigarette smoking cockroach.
Exactly.
but you have a pipe smoking rabbit.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and I'm trying to get the attention of a someone who looks a little down and out. I've been through the emotional ringer myself.
Okay. Yeah, as you proceed, there's just a gentleman sitting out on a porch, kind of not in a chair or anything, just like out with his back against the wall, hat down a little bit, but you see a familiar sight of a pipe sticking out of his mouth.
Yes, I give him a little nod. We're both men of the world who enjoy a pipe where we reflect on the tumultuous histories of our lives.
He looks up.
Not sure if I'm going to use my spell at this point, but trying to start with just an initial connection. Since trying to be cute and adopted didn't work, now it's more of a kind of, hey, one faded guy to another.
Yep.
He looks up to see a rabbit with a pipe, give him a nod, and narrows his eyes. And I'm trying to think of a good voice that, well, we'll just go with it for this. You one of them wizard folk turn themselves into an animal again?
And I've never shrugged before, but Quimby attempts a shrug. Which is ambiguous. It could mean yes, it could mean no.
What are you going to
I
do?
don't think Quimby even knows what it means.
Yeah. Quimby just kind of pulled a muscle in his back at the end.
The gentleman with the pipe's like, yeah, that's what I figured. And he catches a little whiff of the pipe tobacco Quimby smoking. He's like, I can tell you're a fella of good taste, though. Why don't we trade a little bit? And he like reaches to trade pipes with you.
And I'm open to this. But I'm not prepared for the contents of his pie.
Yes, very much so. He has a smug, like, he said that as if an offer, but traded without really any like waiting for another little rabbit shrug or anything. He's just like, this is the pipe trade that's happening.
This is just happening.
What comes out of his is like a heavy, acrid, kind of gross. It's like bottom of the barrel, like what you had before. I don't know how pleasing pipe tobacco would be to a rabbit, but you could tell it was finer stuff than what you were just traded.
Would you say his tobacco is wacky?
Oh, he has the most wacko tobacco.
Now I'm coughing. My little red eyes are even redder.
Oh man, yeah. There's no. Maybe give me a clever, Quimby.
A clever, yes, a clever roll. Let's see.
For you, I guess it's just a straight up roll because you don't add anything to yours.
Yeah, I got a 9 on this.
Dang, dice are hot today.
Yeah, they are.
From what you can tell of humans, and once in a while the witch would pull out her own modest from her garden, some dried tobacco leaves, and smoke her pipe. It was nothing like you tasted from the shop owner, but you can tell there's something that's not quite tobacco leaf cut into this pipe.
There may be something a little mind-altering.
Yes.
Hmm.
Oh no, poor baby.
Yes. Now, the upside of this is that can open up one's perception somewhat.
True.
It can expand your awareness and intelligence to a degree.
You start to see this gentleman's true character, and kind of as a nondescript man, his nose starts to get more hooked, and his ears get pointed, and his eyes get red, and his laugh goes from a to a ho ho ho.
So he's taking on demonic quality.
Yes.
And I'm seeing this, but the drug has also made me mellow, so I feel pretty in control at this moment.
I can take him.
This is weird, but I got
But
it.
then I feel like this might be someone to stay connected to.
Are any of us getting a contact
I'm
enchantment?
looking for my patriots, kind of glancing to see if
We look like monsters.
they can come. Oh no, if they can come over, so they can make their way over.
Is any of it making its way into our lungs, Josh? Are we feeling it? We are
Depending
nearby.
on how close you are, I'm willing to. I would assume maybe Kit and Hathaway would be standoffish regardless, but I'll let you speak for your own characters.
I'm nearby twirling my fake mustache.
I've actually been standing next to him or sitting next to him the entire time. Although I'm a lady, I do have my own past, and catnip and a bad has never affected me poorly. So I'm just like looking at him, and he doesn't even register me, and I'm just like, hop it off, big boy. You'll be
I'm on Matilda's back, so I'm wherever Matilda is.
I don't think any of it affects me. we're in the back because I'm bringing up the rear, but
Yeah, and with your strong nose, you can tell that's something you don't want no part of.
yeah.
I don't have time to waste with this peasant chattering, so I have been hopping around from rooftop to rooftop and around spaces, and trying to get a better view. If we're gonna do this thing, I want to do it.
So now, now that Kit is near the guy and me, so I'm communicating to Kit that this might be a person of interest.
And I'm just like, sure, okay. Why?
he sees Kit up close too, and he's like, you a wizard too? I got what you need. He opens his jacket, and there's various little pouches, and he pulls out what you sense, catnip.
Oh no.
He's like,
Oh,
I
no.
know wizards turn themselves into cats to get a high on the cheap.
And I'm literally losing it, all up in that coat.
No.
And now you've got 2 high companions.
As you get closer, though, he pulls back a little bit, it's gonna cost you. First one's free, and he points to Quimby.
And I'm just like, I don't speak to you, but I'm looking at him like, what is that? How much does that cost? I'm easily distracted.
And I'm really convinced that this might be the guy because I heard that the guy was drunk, and this guy's definitely altered somewhat.
Yes.
And maybe there was a miscommunication. They met him high. So I'm pretty focused on this guy, But the team does not seem to be on the same page. So I'm.
Guys, we need to keep moving. The smell's coming from this way.
Maybe
I picture McGruff the crime hound right now trying to move along unsuspecting little critters.
Just say no.
Less sexy than McGruff.
I'm seriously considering using my spell again to actually speak to this person now.
Do it.
Please.
Do it.
So we have 2 boons and 2 hinders. What I'm going to say is when we choose, I'll let you guys choose to when to use the boons. I'll choose when to use the hinders, but since we're neck and neck, we won't use them to cancel each other out. So I'll let you decide first, and then I'll throw a hinder in when I think it would be appropriate.
Well, before you go trying to speak and being smart about things, I'm the ex-addict that I clearly am. I'm going to try and use my unseen hand to just snag what I want because
Jesus.
I'm
Get the pipe.
So, I guess you want me to roll for
Oh, I
that?
see.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. Oh no, I dropped it. Oh, there. What am I? 4.
Oh, right at the line. It succeeds.
Oh, shit, I didn't. Oh, dang it.
The little pouch he had pulled out of one of his pockets suddenly just like zips out of his hand. He's like, "Oi!
And I'm just
Hey, that's mine!"
doing
but-
this.
Already too late, being covered in catnip.
Yeah.
And I'm literally just like laying basically next to / on my rabbit friend, just being like, yeah, man.
Quimby, this gentleman shoots.
I dare you.
This gentleman shoots you an accusatory look, like you brought this friend to the deal, kind of thing. Like, what are you going to do about it now?
I thought you were cool, man.
Yeah.
I'm going to sniff his jacket, presuming he will have something for me. I'm going to sniff his jacket a little bit. Because I can't communicate with him any other way.
Give me a clever.
All right. 7.
7. You smell an entire pocket full of exchangeable mustaches of different, like, if you could smell a color, you could tell that there were different, like, you know, you can smell the difference in people. You can tell there are multiple stolen mustaches in this pocket. I would say, like, in the middle of the night, he went in and did a little rip move.
Oh, wow.
Did his own little thing. So there's at least.
So these are genuine people.
Like mustaches off people's faces.
Yes.
Scalping
Like,
under their nose.
there's no fake hair right now. He went in, ripped them from their owners.
Are there like patches of flesh that they're attached to?
He's fashioned his own. It looks as though they were attached to little patches of poor leather, but not of cowhide. I'll tell you that much. And so, kind of as a peddler, he has an array of disguises. There's a big bushy orange mustache. You can smell there's different ones in there. I'm not going to describe them all yet, but
how much do they all weigh? Do they all weigh like maybe the weight of a chicken's egg? Just in case
I would
switched out. Or?
I would assume lighter. I don't know what 3 mustaches weigh collectively, even if they're.
It also really depends on how big of a mustache.
I've already got so many mustaches. Is all. It's a lot.
As a connoisseur.
I'm gonna have to think about it because I think somebody else has something else they want to try.
Okay.
While
Oh yeah, go for it.
I just want to lock his door behind him so he can't get back into his own house. Just like I'm just being a mischievous cat. Like, how about this?
Sounds good.
Okay, go ahead.
I have no motivation for it. I think
No, I like
they would think it was funny. All right. Well, I rolled a 1.
Oh, Jesus.
So I'm gonna
My dice
retcon
do
a
not
little
like me
bit.
today.
Instead of him leaning up against the wall of the little house, he's leaning up against the door. Instead of locking, it flies open and he slams back with another exclamation of "Hey!" like, and he tries to sit back up quickly, and now he's going to reach out for Quimby, seeming that he's, Quimby being the one who kind of initiated this contact, did a trade of pipes. Now he's reaching for you, fairly aggressively, Quimby.
And I would like to roll to cast my spell to speak
Okay, sure.
at this moment.
Okay,
I got a 7.
yes.
So
What would you like to say to him?
I think I feel like I have a better connection with this person. So I think I'm a little more articulate this time.
Okay, yeah.
And hey, man, thanks for the buzz. Don't pay any attention to them. That cat doesn't mean anything. They just kind of follow me around. But yeah, a spell was cast on me, and we're trying to find this. This witch hunter. We heard there was a witch hunter who lived around here. Just wondering if you have any leads.
He kind of does a few blinks at you through bleary eyes, and it takes a little bit longer for this to soak in than just, a little rabbit shrug. Like, that seemed more normal, but now the rabbit talking to him is... The processes are rolling a little slower here. But he's like, oh, you must be meaning Derek. He's down the way at the tavern, but I wouldn't go messing with Derek. He takes a sip of that whiskey and gets, and he looks down at you. Pardon the phrase, but a hair up his butt, and he starts swinging.
I've heard them all.
He starts breaking things, and I don't mean just furniture. And he pulls his lips aside, and you can see multiple missing teeth. I know
so
he's
you've been in a squabble with him, huh?
I was minding my own business, but then Derek came in, fists swinging. I don't know. Just watch out for that guy.
Now, whereabouts does he hang out again?
All of a sudden, down the street, you see someone get thrown from a building into the mud.
Oh shit!
And he looks down that way at it. He's like, "That'd be Derek."
I lean over to talk into Matilda's ear. I'm like, that's the guy.
Well, and quick caveat, he says, and I don't mean the gentleman in the street.
Well, thank you. And hey, you can keep this pipe. And I offer him my pipe.
I very gently and cutely offer him a chicken's egg. He doesn't know why. And I put it on his lap. I grab the 3 mustaches and run off in the direction of Derek. Really needed those mustaches.
He looks at Chanch like that seems like a fair deal. He looks at Quimby teary-eyed, like no one's ever given me anything. As you proceed on, he tips his hat your way. If you had a top hat, you would be tipping it back his way.
They wasted it.
It belongs with,
Lady Bunny.
a love. So,
And before we leave, I literally just look over at Quimby and I'm like, I swear I understood that entire thing. This is what the hairball. This is some crazy catnip. And I'm just like, Yeah.
You saw into the peddler's soul a little bit and saw the young child that's never received anything.
Yes.
You see a wounded soul.
I'm like, wow, this is a great day.
Hathaway, you're still just like peasants.
Whatever. I
In
don't need
motion.
It's fine. I find catnip to be very pedestrian. So. I'm glad you enjoy it.
We're living life, babe. I got 9 of them. I'm going hard.
I was into it when I was younger, but I've grown out of it.
The old 9.
All right. On we go.
I point towards the town. I'm like, off we go.
So as you move towards the din, Matilda, you can smell a very familiar smell. This is more akin to the sense you picked up when the witch was murdered.
Bring it a little. And slow
Yeah.
us down.
And
What are you doing?
there is almost a similar ruckus to what you left at the last tavern, but this one sounds a little more heated and a little more violent.
What the hell? We weren't even here yet.
I'm thinking kind of a not so much musical setting, but no one is as great as Gaston situation here.
Sure, yeah.
It tracks.
Does this have the same flappy doors?
Yeah,
Okay.
except one's not even flappy. It's kind of like broken down at an angle. This is definitely where people would go to drink and also brawl, maybe.
Oh, is there an open window?
The doors open. I would say there's in the front to let all the kind of smoke and smoke from various sources, pipes, fireplace. Obviously it has a chimney, but also candles. They would try to vent this probably as well as they could.
Okay, so I go to Matilda. Hey, bring me over to that window. I'll take a peek inside.
Okay. I head over.
So I hop up on the windowsill to see if I can see what's going on inside.
Give me a quick for that then. I would say Matilda's fairly halfway there. You're going to have to at least give us a little effort.
That's an 8.
I got
Man.
3.
Most of you, Matilda, you're able to get him up on your nose and lift him just high enough for that 8 to succeed onto the windowsill.
Okay.
All right. So I peep it to see if there's if I can see the guy or see just what the hell's going on in here. Because other than one guy being thrown out, we really don't know what's happening.
So, did Simon actually witness?
Yeah, he was he was milling about, trying to make dinner.
Okay. Yes. Then I'm not even going to make you roll a clever. You see, the last guy wearing similar clothes was well put together, seemed kind of tidy, just like the bar or tavern he was hanging in. This gentleman looks disheveled, looks rough. You see him above another man, just punching him. And then he picks him up and drags him and throws him out with another person into the street. And you do recognize kind of the savage look in the man's face as the one who killed the witch.
That's him, you guys.
I am beside myself, peering around the door, trying to my nose going.
I think I can probably be a cat and that could jump pretty well. I jump up to the windowsill that Simon's at.
I'm scanning the room for weapons, and also trying to remember how weapons work.
Yep.
Are there any half-drunk beers outside?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Go, Carrie.
Lot to process here. Let's do. How about everybody just give me a clever roll?
Doif.
Damn it.
That's a 5.
Okay.
7.
Six.
I got
Okay.
1. It's my base 0 plus 1.
Jesus.
All right. So Tennille 6, Dan 10, Jason
5.
5, Riley
Flat 7. Yep.
7, James
I rolled a 1.
1, and Ari
11.
11. Okay. So, man,
Fair. Quimby is still under the influence.
That's true. I'm getting into the spacey part rather than the
Yeah.
technology part.
Starting to understand Pink Floyd.
I'll address Chanch's request. Amazingly, one of the gentlemen that had been thrown out in it's like this section of town had its own magic of him landing face first in the mud with a mug in his hand, half full, because the entire beverage couldn't make the entire flight. It was left at the beginning.
Sure.
Let's see here. What else was being asked? What were you all looking for? Weapons. Quimby can see that not many people are, they're just there to drink. It's kind of trying to drown your sorrows. But the one who was there who killed the witch, there are unusual lumps in his clothing that look basically like he's concealing something.
He's a lumpy man.
He's a lumpy boy.
I guess I'm looking for. Can I jump in that window still? I guess I'm looking
Yes.
for dark spaces in the bar that I might be able to dart to because I'm a black cat. Like if I hide pretty well in like a shadowy space.
Yeah. Okay. So anywhere in the bar, under any table, any corner, it's like they are like, we're not going to waste candles on you. There's some minimal light coming from outside the fireplace. It's pretty dark setting, and layer of smoke, I would say 3 to 4 feet above all your heads would also kind of distract. It would be pretty easy. I would still have you give me a slide just in case.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, I'm essentially going into my stealth, my rogue mode at this point for this cat. All right, that's a 6. 3 plus 3.
Oh yeah, with the 6, you're able to kind of, with the exception of up on a table or on the bar or right in front of the fireplace, you could hide pretty easily throughout this seedy tavern.
Okay, yeah, I'm doing that. I'm doing the very good cat hide kind of situation. So I think cats are pretty good at hiding when they want to. So I'm essentially doing like, oh, the laundry room's open. I'm gonna go in there. I'm doing that kind of like underneath the table somewhere, so I can kind of keep an eye on this witch hunter and be ready if I need to activate in some way.
Kit?
Yes.
What is there anything you were looking for, or?
Oh, no, I'm on somebody's lap that's on a bar stool.
Okay.
You went all in.
I went in and I'm just literally being pet. Like, I don't even realize what's.
This doesn't seem like the place that's necessarily pet friendly, but the lap you chose, the patron is so drunk that they don't recognize something in their lap, but you're just like, yeah, this person's digging me.
Just like twinsies.
I refuse to believe there's a bar where people would be unhappy that an adorable cat hopped on their lap. Come on.
If this gentleman could see the cat, maybe he would be happy, but he's beyond that point.
Got it.
I should point out I've grabbed the mug of beer with both paws and have sauntered in thinking this is casual. New mustache, but I do think I'm being casual and passing as human. I'm not trying to confuse anybody yet.
Hello, fellow humans. I am a human as well.
Let's see here. Give me a sly.
It's a 5 plus a 1. 6. I can do math. Like when you walk in, it doesn't even set the doors swinging.
as best you can on your 2 paws. And I feel like because the lack of thumbs, although there's, like the handle to the beverage, and with the 6, you're like kind of sliding and stumbling with it.
Sure.
Like, whoa.
I look drunk, passively drunk. Yep, makes sense.
And overall, your presence in the darkness, smoke, haze, and inebriation goes fairly unnoticed.
Yes.
That's all I wanted. Thank you.
And then, Matilda, was there anything specifically you were looking for?
I'm mostly just backup. Like, I got their back, but I have my tail decidedly between my legs because I remember getting kicked real hard.
Yeah, and you hear the harsh voice of the witch hunter go, "Another round!" And he smacks a glass into the head of the man that Kit is in the lap of. So, Kit, give me a quick roll.
Oh no.
I don't know. 3.
Ooh.
1 plus 2 is 3.
Kit, so although immediate harm doesn't come to you, the glass smashes against him and he tumbles back in a huddle of drunk person, cat, and broken glass. So there's 1 point of danger.
What does that mean? Oh, no.
So now if you roll a 1 during a dangerous situation, really bad things might happen.
Wow, rude. Okay, got it.
Fun.
I'm just like,
Job.
I just skitter off and I'm just like, oh, suddenly I'm like very more sober. I feel dirty, I feel a little ashamed, and I'm trying to play it cool. My daily life.
The catnip buzz was quickly swept away in the motion of the witch hunter breaking that glass.
Oh.
So is this like a typical kind of tavern thing where it's kind of an open ceiling, like with rafters?
Yes.
Okay, I want to try to get up to the rafters.
Okay, give me another quick.
That's an 8.
Simon climbs up into the rafters like a little rat would.
Yep.
You can. So now we have. I just want to make sure I have this right. Simon in the rafters. Matilda maybe doorway like poked in. Hathaway in a shadowy part of the tavern. Quimby, kind of where are you located at this point?
Well, I was peeking in the door. I think I'm creeping my way in.
Okay.
To the bar. Chance, you're nearby, right? You're inside with your beer.
Yep, I've just sort of entered, so we're probably close to each other.
And now remind me, where did you get the beer?
Out of the hands of a probably mustachioed man who I've tried to copy. And, it was just outside, and I've wandered in with it.
Okay, good.
Like
so
this.
I sidle up to you,
Mhm.
say, I think we need to get this guy drunker,
Ooh.
because then there's a chance that he'll stumble
Mm-hmm.
or pass out. And if there's a way that we can just get him to keep drinking, and then we can, perhaps you can offer him your beer.
Yes, perhaps I can, and perhaps you can help me challenge him to a drinking contest.
Yes, I could use it. I could use my my language gift.
Mhm.
One last time.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Just
sort of
tell
like
him-
he's like does it like
One
almost like a
last time.
puppeteer kind of thing where it sounds like you're the one talking.
Oh, right. Well, that, or he can say, what are you going to wuss out and not drink against a fox? Like, that's a big challenge. Like, either way works. But yes, happily, I'll go over there, and should I just wander over there and start drinking?
He's pretty drunk. Maybe you're trying to disguise yourself. Maybe
That's
he's
true.
drunk enough to believe it.
That's true. All right.
So I do
My
just-
understanding is drunk people see pink elephants. So why would they get a walking fox
Uh-huh.
and a talking
Fox in
raven?
socks.
So we should paint the fox pink, is what you're saying.
It couldn't hurt.
I'm down.
Chanch, before you approach, what style mustache do you choose to wear?
Well, what mustache did the gentleman have? Because I think I've successfully mimicked him. So what style mustache did the man have whose beer I stole?
Who's in the street? Well, so I told you you had one big orange bushy mustache, but I will let you dictate what other 2 mustaches had been stolen from the pouch.
Sure. Well, I already had a handlebar. I already had a pouch of them, but
I will say, was not stolen, traded for a hen's egg. The man who was in the street was face down in the mud. Like it was not really a struggle to get the beer away from him.
Sure.
There's not a lot of descriptors besides being beaten and thrown into mud.
Right. Well, I'll go to the big orange bushy one. I mean, it matches a fox's.
Yes.
General.
Your general aesthetic just is glorious.
Thank you.
You kind of what I would maybe imagine is like the hunter from Jumanji, not maybe the full chop kind of thing, but you do have this big glorious these curves hanging off your.
Sure.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
And I have an idea for an opening gambit to approach the witch hunter. So I would attempt my my language spell one more time.
Okay.
Shall I? Shall I roll?
Now, yes, but since we're coming down to brass tacks and we both have boons and hinders, do you want to use the boon before you roll? As a group, you can decide. I mean, but
I'm fine
James.
with it.
James is the ultimate decider since he's casting this spell.
You can use it. I'm fine.
Yeah, I feel like this is.
I say use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I say use it.
So I'll have maximum communication skills.
Yeah.
Yes.
Despite what I roll. So all right, let's go for it.
Okay. Still, just to see, give me a roll just to see, I guess, how maximum. You know, like this passes because of the
Here
boon.
we go. Well, I literally got a 0.
No, it'd be a 10.
There we go. So
A
it's
10.
Good. Yeah.
So
That's max.
Oh, that's 10. That's right.
for Quimby,
Damn.
this could range from projecting your voice for the fox to the voice of God being projected down to this drunken man. Like, with that kind of boon and roll, like you have
All right.
the highest of the highest voices.
Gonna get the whole bar to join in the drinking contest.
I think my feeling is I want to connect with the witch hunter on a human level. So I will try to ventriloquize with my friend Chanch. And I will provide the voice, and we will convince the man that you are speaking and that you are in fact a fellow human.
That's good to me.
And now that I have extra powers, I can now start to engage in dialects. I'm going to give you an English accent.
Nice.
All of it works. Chance fumbles. I guess that would be the best way to say a fox walking on two legs with a half pint of beer in his paws to the bar, up next to the witch hunter, and he does a side look and goes, "Whoa, you're a hairy little fellow."
Have you not heard of Brighton Joe, the greatest drinker in the Northeast? Yes, I'll stand any man in any bar to out-drink me. It's never been done.
He squints
Brighton Joe,
down.
they call me. I've been drinking for 10 days straight and I'm still standing. Anyone here like to engage in a drinking contest with old Brighton Joe? You're wasting your time. That's all I can tell you.
he like looms over you in a menacing way and goes, I didn't understand much of that, but I heard drinking best, and you're on.
Cool,
And
blonde.
he orders up a full round of beers just
Two
for the.
longs, please.
I want to create similar looking cups of beer, but with like 5 times the alcohol level for the guy.
Yes.
Okay. Are you guys going to use Boone for this? Or
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's let's boon it up.
Go
Let's
for
boon
it.
it up.
All right.
just so you know, if you didn't, I was going to do it just the opposite, and that
Yeah.
would have been
That's why
for
we said yeah.
Chance.
Yeah, I didn't find I couldn't think of a sneaky way to drink, so I'm pretty sure I'm effed in general. But
Yes.
All right, that's
Thank
an
you, Simon.
8.
Because I was thinking we needed to fake him out
Mhm.
with diluted beer. But I wasn't
pretty sure
I'm new at this kind of conniving, so I hadn't really thought one step ahead.
I'm pretty
yeah.
sure a 5 times alcohol beer would kill a fox. Like I think that's
It's not for both of them. It's just on the other
That's-
guy's side
I know.
of
I
the
thought
table.
I was
if they were
given the
hard,
hinders.
yeah.
I will use them as unjustly as I can. We'll get there. So what alcohol percentage were you saying you were going to kick this up to? Because it works.
I'm 5x multiplier on that beer.
Okay. So he's basically drinking 151 rum, but it's still like beer flavored.
Exactly. It's like drinking 5 beers at once.
Yeah.
Per glass.
It's the ultimate double IPA.
Yeah. And just as hoppy.
Oh, God.
I have a plan too, but I'm gonna hold off until this is all played out.
Okay, so he throws, like, he already was slurring his words, like, the voice truly helped, but mistook you for a small hairy man. Well, mustachioed man, but still, like, the bartender's, like, kind of sitting back, like, he heard the voice as well. It was very convincing. The bartender being sober is like, I guess this is one of them wizardy folks. Like, serving drinks, looking at Chanch very disapprovingly, but not willing to argue with the witch hunter, who will undoubtedly cause pain for not serving drinks. The same beverages that are poured are very different alcohol level contents. And he slams the first one back and is just like, it's fine. And he looks down at you suspectingly, like expectantly.
Barkeep, 2 more and keep him pulling.
So the barkeep, also not being the smartest man and hoping to pinch every penny out of the witch hunter, serves you both 2 more, not just 1 for each. And the witch hunter slams both of them back at once. He's starting to like barely hold it. He's like, it's fine, and looks down at Chanch. Now, Chanch, I don't know what to make you. Let's do a fierce roll for how much you can hold your beer by the third one. Yes, Hathaway.
10.
I'll let him finish up
Oh.
and then do something.
Okay, well,
The trick of having the mustache absorb some of it.
yeah.
It just redirects it down.
Apparently,
And his fur.
Chanch had also been taking nips of the witch's secret stock and is well acquainted with this with the 10.
Mhm.
Yes, Hathaway.
So I'm aware that when the witch has her stock, after a few, her motor skills are not as good. So I'm going to do the thing where I run between his legs right when I feel like he has hit peak drunkenness to help him perhaps stumble. Because I did hear my friend Quimby say that we need to trip him or make him fall in some way.
Yeah.
So
And
I'm
I
just going
also
to.
have natural speed, so I could run and hop and try to distract him.
But I'm doing the cat thing of like running between his legs so he stumbles over me and falls once he's
I like that.
drunk. Yeah.
Well, I was going to make it harder, but with that roll, yeah, the next beer goes down, and Chance, you get the idea that maybe the bartender waters these beverages down to, squeeze again a little bit more coin out of his patrons. So for you, this has been pretty light, and the witch hunter, who's already however many deep, is now drinking much heavier beverages. Yeah, do you keep pushing your luck with him? What?
Yeah, might as well. I mean, I've got a pretty good constitution, it seems like.
Yes.
And a very big mustache.
These are delightful loggers. Rotten Joe's been all over the world, but these are delightful beers with fruity bouquets, notes of goody pungency.
I love how worldly knowledge this rabbit has gotten from beginning to now.
Rocky, don't stop now.
Again, the barkeep. What?
Yeah. I'm just hoping we're going to push our friend over the edge.
Yeah. As the barkeep serves the next set of beers, the witch hunter is kind of looking.
I have a question, by the way.
Yes.
Are there have we gathered a crowd? Are there patrons watching this event?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, right. What do you guys think?
I mean, this guy was killing people before, and now
he wasn't necessarily killing, just
how tall is a fox standing on its hind legs? 2.5 feet?
Sure.
So you got this towering, beefy man losing a drinking contest to a small, fuzzy person.
Okay. And it seems likely there could be some patrons who are on the fox's side, or the little man's side.
I would say
we're egging on our witch hunter a bit.
Yes. So I would say the patrons that are not fully passed out or knocked out from being in the same room as the witch hunter are kind of like quietly like on the fox's side, but they don't want to cheer too loud because they're scared of getting a little bit of a cuff. And the next round of drinks comes out, and the witch hunter, everybody knows the spins at some point in their adult life, where you're just like, I know this is a bad idea. He leans down to Chanch and says, "You want to know why I never lose at a drinking competition?" And Chanch, give me a quick roll or a sly. Or either one.
Well, it's gonna be fun as if it didn't just go into my 1,000 other dice that are sitting here.
Sorry, I guess quick is evade, so roll a quick.
Roll a quick. All right, we got 7.
Okay. Wow. With the 7, you see his fist kind of curve around at you, and he does a swing. You're able to duck. Looney Tunes style, your mustache stays where your face was and gets punched onto another one of the patrons.
I think this is the exact moment where Hathaway goes running through his legs because he's distracted and he's moving around. So now she tries to.
Give me a fierce.
Fierce. All right.
I'm just next to Matilda. Like, is this real or am I still hot?
It was a 2.
Oh no.
I will say that just in the sense of something getting wrapped up in your legs is a success, but for Hathaway, you now have 1 point of danger also kind of getting maybe mixed up in those boots a little more than you thought you would.
Okay. I have a backup plan.
And he kind of falls into the few, we'll say 6 onlookers. It was 7, but now there's 1 knocked out with a new mustache on his face.
Is he on the ground?
It's kind of like he fell into people. It's kind of like half being propped up, but also he's like a heavy dude. So it's kind of like a miasma of people right now.
Are we basically in like a Jim Croce song right now, where this is like the guy who like the whole town hates, and now we're coming in to rough him up a little bit? Okay.
Yeah.
You like grab him. Like everybody just let's grab him and go.
That's what I'm hoping.
Drag him out. That's what
I want to. Can I cast lock to make him lock his knees? Because then he'll pass out.
I will give you on a high enough roll. I will let you lock his knees.
Do we have any boons left?
You are out of boons.
Okay, this is all fate. All right, let's see how it goes.
Boonless.
All right, it's a 6.
With a 6, it doesn't fully lock him up, but his knees start to wobble, like he can't quite get his footing now.
Okay.
I put on a different mustache just in case.
No, that was a different fox. That wasn't me. That was the other fox.
Now you have like a suave black mustache kind of, yeah.
You have a certain savoir-faire too.
Oh, the pencil variety, I would think.
Yeah.
Yes.
A real John Waters, maybe? John Waters?
Yeah, or Clark Gable.
Or Clark Gable, sure.
Because otherwise you might sound too much like Simon to try to talk. So
That's true.
But when you yell, grab him. Can I yell? I just literally want to yell, grab him. Can we just all grab him and go?
Someone here has a hand that could grab him.
Right.
Is that me?
Yes.
The rest of us don't have thumbs.
Oh my god, is that what my thing does?
Yeah, it's an
I mean, it's
invisible
unseen
hand.
hand.
Oh, I thought it just meant I was like good at stealing. Oh my god.
Literally a hand.
No, it's
Oh, well shoot, let me roll it up. Okay. Whoopsie whoopsies. 0. Dang it. No,
No,
it's
wait,
not.
that's a 10.
Hey.
Yeah.
But
That's the same mistake.
that being such an incredible roll, I'm going to burn one of my hinders now.
I knew that was coming.
Yep. And the hand reaches forward to grab the witch hunter and just shoots a palm out and smacks unsuspecting Matilda in the doorway in the snout, giving her 1 point of danger now.
We've got another boon, $10 from Wendy.
Oh, who's giving boons?
I clearly should not be casting spells slightly inappropriate.
Yeah, right.
Oh my god, I'm just like so embarrassed. I'm like just like fucking peace out. Just peace out. And I'm just like out. I'm like I feel so bad. I'm just like
That is accurate.
oh my gosh. Wow.
I feel, oh no, it'd be a waste to do it now. Let's see what happens. I'll wait. I'll hold out on casting anything. Mine is so generic. It's not like here's a hand. It's a little less, specific.
I mean, and alcohol already has similar.
Sure, but on top of it,
yeah. So the witch hunter trying to stand on his own is pushing patrons, swinging at them like, I can stand on my own. And the hand being unseen went unnoticed by everybody, like maybe felt like a little tug at his belt, and then it slipped and smacked Matilda in the face.
Mm-hmm.
So generally, crazily enough, the party is relatively going unnoticed. Chanch is probably the one front and center on all this, but now the witch hunter is starting to swing at people, and that's taking up more of their attention, not wanting to be clobbered by his meaty fists.
Mm-hmm. I mean, do I just bat him in the face with a mug of beer? I mean, at this point, I'm not strong enough to do that. I'm too small.
From the rafters, I yell,
Oh, yeah.
remember, we don't need him, we just need his eyes.
That's true. That is true.
I mean, we do need to get them from him, though.
Eyes are lighter than a whole man.
And I get the idea to yell at him in the Brighton Joe voice to confuse him or anger him further. And use my rabbit speed to have him chase me and hopefully fall over. At least that's the plan.
Yes.
I will say he heard the squeaking of Simon and looked like kind of squinted up at the rafters. I'm gonna say it's like too dark and smoky, and he's pretty drunk. He doesn't fully see Simon. He heard him. I believe Simon and Matilda are the only ones who fully witnessed this or were witnessed by him. So, Quimby, what do you do to get the witch hunter chasing you?
I yell, "Over here! It was me the whole time!" And then I hop with great alacrity to one side, to the other side of the bar.
Okay. It's like in Jurassic Park where they light the flares and the T-Rex swings its head over and you're like, oh crap, you're like Malcolm. You're like, this was a bad idea, running with the flare. Give me a quick roll.
Can I pour my beer out as he runs after him as well?
Here we go.
Yes.
To assist him in slipping on the floor?
I got a 6.
Sure. We'll do a slide for Chanch.
Got 11.
Oh my goodness.
He poured the shit out of that alcohol.
Can I cast open to make a bottle cork fly out at him, like hit him, like pop and hit him?
I mean,
yes, from the bar, I will let that. You do have another boon.
I want a 5.
Okay. Boon or no boon?
I rolled before I said it, so I won't take it.
We can, if you want to use the boon, we can if the team's cool with it.
How does the party feel about it? Because I don't want to pick it up. Okay, yeah, we'll use it.
It's the closest thing to actually attacking him we've got so far.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll say a couple more patrons have fallen to the witch hunter's wild swings at this point. He turns, hearing this eloquent voice, and starts to chase, slides on the pouring beer, and all of a sudden, a volley of corks and caps shoot from behind the bar, hitting pretty much all the patrons. Some
going off.
Yeah, some run wildly, not, like a barrage. And it's not like...
You hear the William Tell overture going off, Dad?
It's not like a light, like, oh, haha, cork hit me. It's like these things are ejecting full as hard as a cork can fly. But the witch hunter in his drunken stupor slides and loses his ground, gets hit with a full metal tap, but takes it on the chin like a champ, like a rough brawler, and is kind of Three Stooges sliding, like trying to prop himself up on the bar, getting repeatedly like smacked with various projectiles. The bar has started to clear out though from all this craziness. This is too much for a guy just trying to drown his sorrows.
Yeah.
And at this point, even the bartender's kind of like, these are my losses for the day. I'm stepping out. So now you have a drunk, angry witch hunter trying to prop himself up at the bar after taking a lot of hits on the chin, if you will.
In a moment of bravado, I hop towards him and start running circles around him.
So he's propping himself on the bar.
Yeah.
Do I see any spoons?
Yes. They're not the gentleman that had the mug smashed across his face, but the person which would have been to his left, and then Chanch replaced. The person on his right was eating a gnarly local stew that has since been abandoned.
I drop down, as rats are wont to do, and grab that spoon.
Okay.
Oh gosh, you're going, yeah.
I'm
Dude.
going for it.
Give me a sly then, because
my good God.
It took me
That's
a
a
time to go, what's he going to do with the
4.
spoon? And then I'm like,
I
oh, wait,
know.
rendition.
Right.
I didn't think this place would have a melon butler, so.
With a rat dropping down to the table and grabbing a spoon. Unfortunately, Quimby's distraction goes rather unnoticed, this being right in the witch hunter's face. And although he sees two of you, he goes, "You? I remember you. You cowered in the witch's kitchen as I murdered her. You pathetic little rodent." And he lifts his hand in a smashing motion towards Simon.
I charge at his crotch teeth first.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
Give me a fierce.
Paws crossed, everybody. 10.
Oh, the witch hunter is now a eunuch. And kind of, you can tell he is used to fighting, like from all the projectiles that hit his face. It didn't like really shake him. This has him starting to crumple down. He's no longer at bar level, but below bar level. They weren't like attached stools. They've been kind of thrashed about now. He's not down all the way, but he has been lowered to his knees.
We could just tell him, "Give us your eyes and live." That's the only. Or we kill him, I guess, or knock him out. I guess we have 3 options.
I just want his eyes.
Okay,
Guys.
got to hold him down. How are we gonna do it? Or can you get him?
This is where it gets dark.
Mhm.
Viewers.
So
This
his
is where-
head below the bar
Yeah,
right now?
Yeah,
I imagine he's going like, ah.
yeah.
So I want to at least try to drop down with the spoon and just try to, slingshot it at least one out.
Slingshot it out.
That has to
I
be
guess
a,
technically, since I'm the counterweight, it's a trebuchet.
yeah,
Yes, thank
that
you.
that has to be a fierce. I can't think of anything.
Thank God that's my best score, he said sarcastically.
Now I'm
Anyone
regretting.
want to donate for a boon?
Oh no.
Because that's a 2.
Ooh. Oof is the word for that.
I'm going to double down on the hinder. I know it's not a spell, but as you epically jump forward with the spoon, you land right into his screaming mouth.
No!
And now you are stuck in his mouth. You get a point of danger, and he is choking on a rat.
I'm going to jump down and try to use a claw to get an eyeball because
Okay.
I'm a cat. So.
Give me a fierce.
11.
Good call for help.
Whoa.
Are people just watching this happen?
Right?
And
Cat
Yeah,
taking
I just full on goose to Nick Furium. I just kind of up. I'm like,
oh yeah, except instead of just like kind of scratching over his eye, this thing with an 11 pops out.
yeah.
Oh,
And then I have the
You're
eyeball.
halfway.
So I have that eyeball in my mouth, and I run out of the bar.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course. This
As
is
a cat
Halfway
would
to
do.
your goal.
Yeah.
So
What's that?
I've been outside, right, with my unseen hand petting me to calm me. And as I see my feline friend run out with what looks like a very fun toy in her mouth, I'm like, what? So I scamper in to try and see if I can find myself the same thing, and then I walk into the mess that is.
you're like Troy walking into the darkest timeline.
Yeah, right.
I forgot what we were doing. Okay. So,
distracted.
You're right.
I'm just booking it back to the witch's house at this point because I have one eye, so I'm like, then I get
halfway
I'm
there.
just like, what's going on? Oh my goodness. Somebody tell me. And nothing. No.
So is he screaming? Is he bleeding?
Well, his scream would sound like
doing-
this. because I'm in
Yeah.
his mouth.
He's trying to scream and he
Wait,
is
just
bleeding.
abandoned you completely.
Yeah.
He's like, I got my part. I got mine. You get yours.
What's the kind of pain that would make him open his other eye? Should I bite a nipple? What do I do?
We'll say Simon's lower half as he was like jumping down in. So like the spoon end and his lower half of a little rat body are stuck in his mouth so that you can still hear communication from Simon.
Yeah.
All right. Being as nimble as I am, I'm going to hop up and I'm going to actually try and grab Simon to counterbalance the shame and embarrassment I feel for her friend.
So are you going to use your spell or just try to use
No,
like
my cat mouth. I'm used to like picking up Simon and just carrying
grab him by my mouth
Okay.
scruff. My rat scruff.
So although this seems a little more extreme with fierce, there's like drag, push, carry, bite. So it's kind of like a grab your mouse friend by a scruff. We'll do a fierce.
All right.
I mean, she's pretty fierce.
Two.
Oh, geez.
Okay. The witch hunter is choking on a rat, has had certain unmentionables bitten, lost an eye. I feel like he's starting to thrash around and
He's getting a little annoyed.
Gosh dang it, this is a bit of a hindrance to me.
because
having a bad
we're
day.
getting down to brass tacks. Simon starts to bite down a little bit, not like fully. So there's a point of danger for you and Kit. Unfortunately, you catch a hand of his flailing and also get a point of danger.
Does that mean I'm at 2 danger now?
You are. Kit ran away from her problems earlier, so is only at 1 point of danger at this juncture. Although coming back, but Dan, you being stuck in a mouth, it seems like the most dangerous.
It is like the most dangerous place for a small rodent to be, yes.
Can I rush in and like chomp on his wrist and hold it so that he can't flail anymore?
Matilda with the largest fierce stat on the group, of course you can roll to do that.
We got another boon from Samwise.
8.
8 with a boon coming in. I think you have.
Do we want to use
like,
the boon now?
I think you have 2 boons total.
Do we still? I thought we used the other one.
I've been trying to erase them as I go,
Okay.
so
I would say use the boon because you're
we'll-
probably saving our lives.
Yeah.
with this
We need the other eye.
with this being the finale, we won't limit it to spells.
Okay.
And Matilda, how do you grab and hold on to the witch hunter?
I grab or lunge forward and grab a hold of his wrist with not being afraid to chomp down as hard as I can. And then I just kind of pull it away from his body so that he can't like get any purchase and hurt my friend.
Okay. And as you're doing that, you just hear from the witch hunter. It was asked if we know what the twist was at this point. I will toss it out here. There was a rival witch hunter /
That's
his
what I thought it
assistant.
was.
Who knows? You guys could have pitted against him, but instead you just body slammed him at the
Scarpered.
tavern and ran away.
Well, he did try to stomp on us.
Yeah, fair
He's
enough.
jumping us like Nero jumped on Papaya.
Yeah. I mean, he first tried to abduct you, but you were all too clever for that. So,
So clever.
you know, you can't steal, you stomp. It's
Yep.
basics there.
Yeah. That's just science.
Put in that.
So now one of his arms are restrained.
Okay, I guess I try. Can I try to get the spoon free?
Oh, yeah. Give me another fierce.
So that's a 2 plus my 2 danger.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I should have let the rabbit go.
Yeah.
With a 2 plus your 2 danger, you feel like the spoon was helping stop the witch hunter bite down all the way, but now the poorly whatever kind of metal a tavern would use. Usually it'd be wooden. This town village being well off had metal spoons, but it starts to bend and you feel try to do this without being too gruesome. Basically, there's 2 parts of Simon now. One on the floor and one in the witch hunter's mouth.
Oh God! Oh.
Is it bad? Is it bad? Don't tell me if it's bad.
Never realized how easy it was to have somebody.
Maybe he'll choke on the back of Simon.
I was going to say, now there's kind of more choking going on because what was
Another-
stopping him from...
There's other things involved in that mouth now.
How much struggling is he doing with his other hand? Because I feel like as the only other canine in the room, I should probably grab the other hand.
Sure, at this point, with all of the confusion, he's trying to just do the choking motion for anybody who might be around.
Sure. Help.
But
there's
it's
rat
like
in
a
my
back
throat. The
and
universal.
forth.
There's a rat in my throat. You do
Yeah,
this.
yeah.
This. Oh yeah. You do this. There we are. Well, then I'm gonna have to leap for his other eye. That's my only other option.
Okay.
Get her done.
So what am I?
Fierce.
This sounds like bad news. That's oh wait, actually, this is legit. I do not know which 10 I rolled. I'm gonna grab it again and throw it in a different area. So I'm literally I have three green 10s that all look slightly different. I promise you, I wasn't sure, and it's not much better anyway. 7.
Wow, 7. You have 1 boon left.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think we should use it.
Yeah.
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 We're already down a rat. Let's go ahead. Well, half a rat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Maybe we can magic him to survive as a half rat.
If the witch comes back.
Right?
Exactly. The witch can do anything.
Yeah, let's use that boon. Baby.
Okay. Burning up the boon. As easily as Hathaway stole the first eye with your little fox paws and with, I would assume, some batting and nibbling, you're able to loose the eye of the muffled screamed bleed. Like, this guy is looking rough. Not dead, but also not truly living at this point.
Mhm.
If you call this living.
And I run off.
I mean, he'll be dead by the time they get back to the witch's house.
Yeah.
You have the other eye.
I'm now running towards back as well. So
Yeah.
Pick
up the pieces of Simon.
Piece. The other half is
It's
unless you want.
lodged.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get it out of his mouth.
This is terrifying.
So we're going, right? Right? We're running away. We're going back to the house. Right?
Yes.
Are we okay?
Some of us.
What's the state of the man now?
The state of the man is he's trying to wheeze through half a rat, is held by a dog, missing various pieces of himself, and is now kind of crumpled on the ground with his hand held up, kind of like maybe I feel like Matilda's like got a little back move, like against the ground kind of stuff.
Maybe a rabbit kick to the sternum might make him spit out the other half.
Yeah, try that. Is Kit still there?
I'm here.
So maybe like
A tickle? Do you want me to?
or like kicking him in the throat.
Oh yeah, that sounds way better than.
Tickle.
Yeah.
The cat like making biscuits on his stomach right now.
I'm definitely gonna unseen hand that stuff.
Okay.
7 plus nothing. I don't know. I keep looking down. Like
Right. No, that passes, and kind of Heimlich maneuver style. That's not what they call it anymore, but that's what I remember it as. Needs a gust of air, spitting half a rat at kind of like the footing area of the bar, and there's a deep and then drunk sobbing.
We scoop
Great.
up
Gross, he got spit on it.
Simon and bolt out the door.
yes,
Everybody bolts.
bolt.
Yes.
How about you, James? Are you also bolting? You seem really chill, is all.
Yeah.
Well, there's not a lot I can do at this point,
Maybe he's
but I'm running with the
traumatized.
group. And I could, assuming that Simon doesn't make it, I could offer to say a few words.
Yeah, maybe Quimby with continuing to have puffed on that pipe. At this point, not sure if this action was real. Even for a familiar of the Force, this was pretty whack.
As I'm scampering back to the cottage, I'm gonna grab a little piece of cheese from the place we passed on the way, just in case he makes it to give my friend.
Yeah.
One of the other cats is like, "Leave my kingdom!"
I'm just like, whatever, weirdo.
I think when you finally make it back to the cottage, Hathaway has just dropped the eye on the witch and is now sleeping like on some. She's like over it now. It's like she's. I see this beautiful black cat on the cat cam who's been sleeping the entire time. I think that's just Hathaway. Like
Yeah,
that's
she is a princess.
And on the way back, I've seen the Lady Rabbit. And
Give a little.
with the idea of a surprise in store for Quimby, your love is noticeably absent of the streets.
Oh.
I have something planned for you, Quimby. So
so I don't see my.
no, not
fair
on the
enough.
way there.
Oh.
Okay, so we'll say overall you make it back to the witch's cottage. Nobody really wants to deal with these bloody, rough-looking familiars that have been storming through the streets.
not my
progressively
familiars.
worse.
We gotta be a mess.
Yeah.
Not my
Yeah.
farm, not my cows. Just let it go.
Someone blew up that corkboard.
Whoever's carrying Simon, he's like, I can't feel my legs.
Where are my legs?
Where's the rest of me?
Forrest, why did it leave me behind?
I wanted to lose weight, but not like this.
Just look at the sky. Count the clouds.
It's so cold and dark.
After multiple fake outs, somehow Simon's still kind of like
Simon's given so many last words.
Yeah. He's bequeathed all his belongings.
You are able to make it back to the witch. This happened very quickly rather than a week. I feel like the course of one day you
Yeah.
got there. The sun is just starting to set. What do you do? All you know from the books were to get the eyes back to her.
Do it.
Anybody want to try anything or?
Just drop the eyeballs on her dead body.
Yeah. I presented my eyes.
Towards her.
Yeah. I'd already presented my eye to her the way a cat would drop like an animal that's caught. Like
Oh, yeah,
I just gave that to her, and that's when I went back to sleep.
Yes.
Perhaps she has a spell book or something.
No.
We could read out loud.
When nudging the eyeballs doesn't work, then we go over to our spell books.
I would say the one Hathaway presents is a little more battered and offset, I guess. You know, like presenting a dead animal would be.
Yeah, right.
What's Simon doing? Do we just have him like?
I'm just so cold, so dark.
It's cold. Now it's warm. Now it's cold.
No, it's a warm cold.
Maddie, can you read the spell book? Is there anything else?
I think I'm like going through her different books and having each one read a little passage till I find something to do with witch's death.
Give me a make book read itself aloud.
What is that?
That's your spell.
Just a 4 or higher.
Oh, got it. I got 4.
Oh,
thank goodness.
Yes, okay. He's dying.
One of the books, the one specifically you remember talking about this, starts to droll on and on about like bringing the eyes of the cursed one back.
Oh,
and
God.
all of a sudden there's some deeper words being spoken and some off-putting rhymes, and the very last line is, "And with the eyes of the cursed one you will arise," and nothing happens. The witch is laying there. Suddenly the eyes burst into like a bright green flame surrounding the witch, not burning actually, but covering her, and she does slowly arise and goes, oh my, and sees poor Simon half from Simon's view. It's like an angel looking down, there's light behind her.
Aww.
And she cups him in both hands and opens her hands, and Simon's whole again.
Oh.
And goes, oh my little ones, thank you ever so much. And to each of you, to Quimby, all of a sudden she pulls a top hat out from behind her back, and she goes, "Is this your love?" And literally pulls the rabbit out of the hat and presents, like eyes flittering ever so feverishly in the heat of the moment, the rabbit giving you the babe eyes.
It's like first
And
Space
then-
Jam era Honey Bunny.
Yeah.
And then right before the credits roll, our faces go
Lola.
blank like the end of The Graduate.
And the witch kindly puts the top hat over you two, censoring.
Iris out.
To Matilda, she gives you the most lovely pets, absolving you kind of all the pains the witch hunter had caused you and of what Kit had caused you. all the frustrations of the last day, you're just like at peace and a happy hound. Let's see here. Hathaway, you receive a cat-sized scroll that within some sort of cat scribbles decreeing your name to different fiefdoms of the town that have been established,
Yes.
Good to have them
presenting
right.
you as the superior
Nice.
cat
Yeah.
of the
It's just putting in writing what it's already established.
It's weird that you need that, but okay.
But they have one thing you haven't got, a testimony.
Maddie, I don't need it. It's the rest of you peasants needed it. So
Yes.
For Chanch,
First look deal. Something big.
she presents you with something you've never seen before. These odd white shapes, 3 of them, that have a red stripe kind of across the top, and you get the sense magically imbued that you could fully juggle these even without opposable thumbs. They're bowling pins.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
And she goes to sit in her chair by the fire and turns towards Kit and goes, "Oh, don't think I forgot about you, dearie," and presents a warm lap nestled, a space in her robes to nuzzle up, and she begins to pet you, and you successfully, brutally saved the witch from her fate.
Yay!
Yay! We did it.
She deserved it.
That's fun.
Sorry we went over time there a little bit. I apologize to the next group.
Oh, there's
Oh,
I don't.
There's an hour break in between just for that.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I don't know if anybody wants to give any shout outs. I do. I appreciate all of you for playing. You made this. I could have easily gone even longer, but this was a great game, and everyone was tremendously fun to play with.
Yeah,
Thank you, Josh. You're a great DM.
Yeah, great
Thank
job.
you.
Awesome.
Yeah, really great.
Okay, let's all take turns reintroducing who we are and plug anything you want to plug. That's everyone always fights over who goes first. So James, you go first.
James Urbaniak. There's a movie about Del Close, the famous improv guru guy, called For Madmen Only, and there are sort of quasi reenactments based on the sort of stories he told about his life, where I play Del Close. So that's
Oh my God.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
available soon on like wherever you get your movies, iTunes or whatever. And then one other thing I'll plug is I have my writing partner and I wrote a scripted podcast. It's like a standalone audio feature. It's called I Will Never Lie to You, and it's going to be available on Audible soon.
Oh, awesome.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
Those are my plugs.
Amazing.
Riley.
So much fun.
Hey, you can find me on Twitter at Riley J. Silverman or Instagram at Riley Silverman. I am part of an all-women improv and sketch group called Ripley Improv, and we just wrapped up a great season of essentially a diceless RPG called Slay. It was a monster hunting RPG, and the format's really cool. We're basically, it was designed to be done over Zoom, so the idea is we're all being interrogated by a monster profiler, and we're all taking turns giving our reports of what happens, but there's lots of chaos and stuff that ensues. So all those episodes are available now, both on Ripley's Twitch channel, which is twitch.tv/Ripley Improv, or our YouTube channel, which is Ripley Improv on YouTube. So it's called Slay. We had a lot of great guests like Felicia Day, and it was a really fun show to do. So check that out.
Super cool.
Amazing.
Jason, you're next in my order here.
Okay, go to stolendress.com. That's where all my podcasts, including of Dice and Dens, can be found. They also have their own website, but stolendress.com. Check out A Drinking Game, which is normally done, well, before pandemic was done live in LA with my friend Tennille. Yeah, that's her. Go to adrinkinggame.com. They're now being done on Zoom, not sure for how much longer, and I'm bringing it to Detroit at some point. So go to adrinkinggame.com. That's where you're going to find that, and then jasonklamm.com, KLAMM, and there's everything else. There you are. Enjoy.
Yeah. Tennille, you're next.
I'm Tennille. I love cats. Thanks for joining us. Basically, anything Jason does, he pulls me into. So if you sneak into his stuff, you'll probably find me there somewhere.
She does play Lizzie Borden on the Dan and Jay's Comedy Hour podcast every once in a while, and she's amazing. So.
Yes.
I'm just loving life. Bye.
Harry.
I am on OD&D podcast, and which you can find. You can do OD&Dpodcast.com.
Yes.
And I'm playing in the next game, and just helping with the next couple days for the kitties.
Yay.
Yay.
And I was Dan. I'm the host of the OD&D podcast. I play Bartholomew on the Fistful of Dice, hosting this thing, and I appreciate everyone joining us and donating. We're at $1,250 right now.
Whoop.
Good.
Our max last year was about $1,550, so
okay.
I really appreciate everyone. I think we're gonna kill it this year.
Yeah.
Not the cats.
Not the cat.
No kill.
All right, and at 4:00 Mountain Time, we're gonna have Wander Home, and Aries on that one too. So
Sweet.
we'll see you then.
Also,
Okay.
I'm Josh. Thanks, Dan.
Sorry, Josh.
That's fine.
Wow.
I only brought you all this joy. So
GM's me feelings don't matter.
I know. As soon as I'm not hosting the game, I'm just kicked to the curb. Damn. Wow, all the cats coming on screen now.
Oh, I love Siamese cats so much.
Oh my goodness, what a cutie.
I wish I
He's
don't
going to
have a
complain about being held in a second.
My couple plugs are, please check out Grant Howitt's work, the one who made the mechanics to this game. Amazing stuff from his Patreon and websites. I believe that should be supported with how much joy it's brought to others. Also Lancaster Leather, which will be through me providing one of our donations, again, a various color, person, cat, or dog, probably. Depending on who the winner, if they have a cat, a dog, or would like that bandana loop. And yeah, just part of OD&D. Again, had a great time with everyone, and thank you again.
If you hit up Meowrathon.com, you can find a link for all the raffle information.
Also,
Yay.
one thing, I did host one last year. I just want to toss it out there. The Lightning Felines Part Mew will be coming back probably next year.
Nice.
Yes.
I only came up with a satisfying story this week, so I'm glad we went with The Witch is Dead, because even though I wasn't presenting that game, I was feeling the crunch for it, but now I'm happy with where it will go our following year.
Nice.
So thank you all.
Right.
Let's have a round of applause for Josh as a GM.
Yeah, for real. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
Yay.
Yay.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Okay.